Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgment. Welcome to another debate where we actually speak about Arsenal, as you guys know, but we'll speak about Spurs as well. We'll speak about the loss yesterday. Does it mean anything? Spurs are still targeting Europa League. A lot of people asked, even if he wins Europa League, they want him out. We'll talk about that as well. Are Liverpool favorites next season for the Premier League? And the reason why I wanted to start this debate with Husam, Jordz, and Ashraf is that yesterday, we tried to start this debate on the National League and we just couldn't even go with it because we were just ending the show. Is Bukayo Saka a world-class player? Do trophies matter for him? Has he hit the highs? Is he one of the best wingers at the current moment in the world? Do trophies matter that much in terms of how you assess players, or moments matter more? How do you talk about it? Hit that like button, guys, if you are here. Subscribe, of course, to the channel, guys, if you are new. All these guys' channels, of course, in the description. Durak Diaries, who just dropped a video with the most shameless video on YouTube, actually, now. It's called Arsenal Are Scary. He literally titled his video this. He literally did this, which is, I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
We are.
So go and subscribe to Jordz.
Yeah, man, Arsenal are scary. Like they're now favourites of Champions League, so I think they're really scary, innit? That's all I think it is. Like, I thought it's worth me touching on it because everyone else is allowed to speak about Arsenal. And actually, made a video on Arsenal last week, and people loved it so much. I thought Arsenal is scary, man.
You think Arsenal are scary?
Watch the video and find out.
You're such a fraud. It's unbelievable. You're such a fraud.
No. You can't call me a fraud before you watch the video and actually understand the content of the video.
We're giving the people a teaser. You were not going to tell the people what you said in the video because they have to go and watch it, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm a small channel, man. They got to show some love. Go show some love.
You're not a small channel. You're a big personality. Hopefully, you'll be there one day. It's fine. You're not a small channel. Everyone knows you on YouTube. Yesterday, someone asked about you on the reaction.
I'm sure they did. Where's Jordz? Let's cook Jordz. Yeah, that's when they want to see me. Is when they want to cook me.
You want to cook?
Sir, don't confuse your status with your club. Your club is small, but you're not small, my man. You're growing, bro. You're big. Your club is small though, but you're not.
Jordz and Mo, you're lucky I can't make it. Yes, we're lucky. You won a game playing hoofball and long ball and kick and run like soccer in America. It's all right.
All I'm gonna say.
You're gonna make Champions League football, bro. Oh my God.
Newsflash. Team competing for Champions League beats team just above relegation. Surprise, Wolfie.
Big up, Wolfie, of course. I actually want to start with the conversation about next. Actually, let's start with Spurs, actually, the game yesterday. Spurs, I don't know if they played well or not, but a lot of people are having a meltdown again about Spurs, another loss. You already lost like 19 games. You're going to actually break the record for the most losses without getting relegated. It is 21 by Villa. You're 2 losses away in 5 games left. But all of this is forgiven if you win Europa League, of course. Everyone knows that. And I'm not sure that yesterday that someone was speaking with Husam and the guys on the reaction is saying that it's an indication how we're going to play in Europa League. But it's not. You kept a clean sheet against Frankfurt. It's just completely different, right? It's completely different. Did you read a lot into yesterday's game? To be honest.
Me personally.
Final whistle. Like, we're going to lose Europa League.
Nah, I don't read too much into it. I think the way you've got to see it is like the Premier League games, you can see already from the way that we started. Like most of the Premier League games as of recent, the Wolves game conceded in the first 5 minutes. Although the goals were very similar in the Forest game and the Wolves game, the goals that they scored are literally identical in some sense. I do think that you can tell the players are somewhat checked out of the Premier League. Like they just don't have that same fight to get back into games. And to try and it just seems like the manager as well has run out of ideas, and for some of these games just like, yeah, let's rotate the team and see what happens. There's no clear instruction or direction given to the team, and you can tell that by the way we ended the game. For the last 20 minutes we played with a 4-4-2. Spurs have never played with a 4-4-2 under Ange. So I'm running out of ideas as to understand how that even made any sense to set the team up in that way, apart from let's just try and get a goal and say, look, we tried. And that's ultimately what happened. We just spammed crosses into the box. Richarlison eventually scored a goal after having 5 headers that he could have scored. He could have scored 3 or 4 of them. But the one he did score was the hardest chance out of them all, which again makes no sense. But that's Richarlison for you. But
I think he's the worst striker. The problem is Rasmus Højlund. Richarlison is saved by Rasmus Højlund in the Premier League.
No, Richarlison's like, I don't rate him. I'm not going to sit here and defend him, but he's better than a lot of strikers, and he always finds a way to get a goal. There's a lot of strikers in the league that don't know how to score, or don't know how to. He will find a way to get a goal. This season, just in 2025, he's got like 3.
Jordz, are you really doing Richarlison proper? You're so much better than this. I've known you longer than anyone on this panel. Stop it.
No.
Your Dyer is worldwide. Everyone knows who you are. Don't do this. Just say it as it is. Sometimes you just have to, like, I get that you want to back Spurs.
No, but I don't rate Richarlison, but he just tried to compare him to Højlund. He's nowhere near Højlund's level. Let's have it right. Højlund doesn't know how to pop up with a goal. Richarlison
is the same level.
Richarlison is just 11 Premier League appearances. He's got more goals than Højlund this season, or Xerxes and all these other rubbish.
Because he's not asked to do anything other than just be in the box and maybe tap it in here, fight with players.
Yeah.
While Højlund, because they play for Man United, he's being asked to run, receive, hold the play. United play on the back foot. You play on the front foot all the time. You have to understand the difference between the 2 strikers.
No,
the rules are just so different.
We have had Richarlison play that way last season. Richarlison managed to get 11 goals. A lot of his goals are still tap-ins.
What do you mean last season? You were playing under Ange last season. You were always on the front.
No, but I mean, like, he was playing
never on the back foot.
He wasn't the way he's playing right now, where you'll just see him up the pitch. He's just inside the box. That's because he's just come back from injury. So he doesn't want him doing too much running work, doesn't want him pressing too much, doesn't want him working hard. So obviously his role in the team has sort of been minimized to just being a target man, when we know that that's not Richarlison.
Because he's not good enough, to be honest. I'm telling you what, Kai Havertz is better as a striker than Richarlison.
Yeah, you can. I wouldn't argue, because I don't rate
Mikel Merino is better as a striker than Richarlison. I'm not going to be shameless and say Nunes.
He is.
It's really Nunes is kind of like...
No, you can say that
because weird,
they're better or more technical.
Changed my mind completely.
But Richarlison's definitely, like, now you're doing too much saying Mikel Merino is a better striker than him. Like, come on, bro. Like,
no, but he is.
He's been a striker. He's been
Mikel Merino is better.
Bro, what are we doing? This is where there's disrespect.
This is not shameless. Wallahi, this is not shameless.
Bro, he's had a couple.
Bro, Mikel Merino is obviously better than Richarlison. Stop it.
You do know Richarlison's got like 60 Premier League goals or something. It's not like he scores goals and he's a consistent goal scorer in the Premier League. He has been for years. His years at Tottenham, where he's been injury prone, he's not been a good player. I want to get rid of him ASAP. By the way, I don't want to keep Richarlison. I want him gone.
So don't die on the hill. Just let him go.
No, because it's still a fact. I still am going to accept the fact that you guys are doing too much, and I'll defend my players when they need to be.
I don't think you're doing too. I think you're doing too much. I think you know how much I hate Nunes. I wouldn't take Richarlison over Nunes.
He's a limited player.
You wouldn't take Richarlison over Nunes?
Yeah, and I hate Nunes. Everyone here knows I genuinely hate Nunes.
Wallahi, Jordz, I'm telling you. The fact that Husam said this, you know that it's not an agenda.
Nunes and
And so you
Richarlison
don't
are
understand
literally-
how much this guy
they're
hates
carbon
Darwin Núñez.
copies of each other, though. What do we mean? Like they're literally the same player.
Nah, I
Darwin
hate
Núñez and
Darwin Núñez.
Richarlison.
I
Nunes
really
is better
don't.
technically than him. That's about it. Like they're the same player.
Núñez is quicker than Núñez is quicker than Richarlison. Like there's nothing else that
You're
Richarlison is
not
good
going
at.
to make a great case to make him sound better than Richarlison. They're very similar players. They
both
play
are
very similar.
trash, but Darwin Núñez is a little bit better. If you ask me for Inter, I would take Darwin Núñez more than Richarlison.
Yeah, I don't mind Darwin Núñez, but just like when Richarlison came to Spurs, I didn't mind him. I like their KO.
You don't mind him? You can take him, brother.
I liked them at that time. At the time when we signed him, I like the fact that they're chaotic and they're players that even though they don't know what they're doing, the defenders don't know what they're doing. So they always end up, like I said, they score goals, they get chances, and they put themselves in positions. The problem is they just don't finish a lot of their chances. But taking it back to yesterday's game, Nottingham Forest deserved the win. I just want to clear that up because obviously, Mo, you said beforehand that like they're doing long balls into the.
Say wallahi, they
stuff,
deserve the win. Of course
they deserve the win. When a team goes 2-0 up, where they were potentially 3-0 up in the first half,
They did not deserve the win, George.
you don't need to get out of second gear.
They
That's-
didn't deserve the win.
Hold on, George.
You
Hold on.
do know
I thought Husam was being sarcastic.
They did not
Yeah,
deserve
same.
the win, bro.
No, bro,
Stop it.
at half time, they literally subbed off one of their attackers and brought on another defender because they knew the game was done. That's how
George.
easy it was.
George, you were a lot better
Husam,
than
you
me.
don't think that
You are a lot
Forest
better
deserved
than
the
me.
win
You just
yesterday.
missed all the chances. That's it.
no, they weren't a lot better. A lot
Okay.
better is a stretch, bro.
But isn't
Okay,
that how Forest always play?
Oh, one
they
second.
always
1 second, because I'm going to defend the Spurs on this. So they weren't a lot better. So let's just look at
First time on
numbers.
his YouTube career.
22
No.
shots, 8 on
So,
target.
22 shots,
2.64
3 shots to Nottingham
XG.
Forest, 6 shots on target, 3 shots, 70% possession, 7 corners to Forest's 1, but they were not a lot better. So I was watching maybe a different game.
But you
It
do know
wasn't-
that everything that Forest done
Second half
mainly in the
was
first
literally
half,
Forest defense training because
yes,
it was
because
all
they've done
forward.
their job in the first
But
half.
that's
Yeah,
what
but
they
you
have been
don't
doing
have-
all
If you
season.
don't have forwards that can put the ball in the back of the net, that does not mean that you played badly. You played well,
They
but you just
didn't-
couldn't
no,
I
no,
can't
but-
remember
this
like
one-
abundance of clear-cut chances.
Bro,
Abundance-
Richarlison
And
alone
this
had
is
like
what
3
I
chances.
hate, yeah, Mil, I hate when other fans do this. I'll do this about my own club. When you start and you have an attack of Odegaard, Tel and Richarlison, and I will say our wingers were really good. I actually liked the wing play that we played yesterday. They both done what I
Tel
expect
wasn't good.
from wingers. Tel was good yesterday. You're lying if you don't think he was good.
No, Tel was not good.
yesterday.
Every single Tel shot just was at a Forest player.
You're talking about his shots, but I'm talking about his overall game. He
Yeah, even
created a
his
lot of
overall
chances.
game. Nick
He
Williams
put a
did
lot of
really well
crosses
against.
into the box. He was being dangerous.
Odegaard was
He beat
better
his
than
man.
Tel.
Odegaard was better, but Tel done a really good job. I like what I got from Tel. But the problem is when you look at that front three, which 3 of them are known for scoring goals? None of them. So when you go into a game and you miss a lot of chances, that's always going to happen when you have 3 players that don't score goals in your attack. So I'm not going to sit here and complain about missed chances because I expect them to miss chances. They're not goal scorers. Nor can, just like when you see Chelsea fans complain about their missed chance when you got Madueke and Sancho up front. Don't complain. They're not goal scorers. If Arsenal have Sterling up top, is Ashraf going to go, oh, but Sterling missed this chance. Sterling always misses chances. You can't complain about it. You know that's going to happen in the game. So I won't complain about the missed chances. We missed the chances because we didn't have good enough quality in the front line. As simple as that.
Do you agree, Ashraf, that Spurs were better?
Ashraf wants a red carpet to talk.
Number one,
Ashraf,
congratulations,
talk-
Ashraf. Did
go
you just
ahead.
get a new Shure mic, Ashraf?
Yeah.
no.
Got a new mic and he has a new beard as well. Let's
Guys,
go.
this is the same
Oh.
mic I use every
the same
single
mic.
time. It's
Oh.
not
Okay,
it's
with
literally
beard.
the same mic.
Sure microphone, mashallah.
I promise you, it's been the same mic for the last 1 year.
Even Husam has like mic that like beeps and lights and stuff like this, bro.
Yeah, I can make it change lights. Have you ever seen it change lights?
Mashallah.
Watch this.
Mashallah, that's
Watch
good.
this.
Okay,
I'm
back
making
to Spurs. Back to
change
Spurs.
lights.
Back to Spurs. Do you need the red carpet as Husam says to speak, Ashraf? Like,
Yeah, Habibi, I don't need the red carpet. I was
Can we-
watching the
Husam,
game while
can
I
you-
was doing the.
Husam,
See
can you
this?
introduce
I was
him to
watching-
Can you introduce him to the
I was
show-
watching the
show?
game
Yeah.
while I was doing
Can your
the.
microphone do this? See this right here? Hold that, bro. See? Cycle. Now I can make it change colors. Let's go. Anyway, go ahead.
I was watching the game while I was doing the Kura pots. I wasn't paying full attention, but bro, nothing I saw seemed like out of the ordinary. Like I'd expect Forest to always have less chances, less possession. They started well. They got their 2 goals. I think once they started there and got their 2 goals early, why would they keep attacking? Like it only makes sense that Spurs take over. And that's happened many times with Spurs when they've lost games, but they've had 70% possession. They've had way more shots, way more attacks. So when people say like, oh, Spurs played a lot better, but then when you consider that that's how they always play against some of these teams, it kind of makes sense. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say they were better. I think the game played out exactly as Forest wanted. They got their early goals. They defended well after that. They only played on the counter-attack, which is why Callum Hudson-Odoi and all, when they were trying to get the ball, or Tayo, who came in later, they were just counter-attacking with one or two people. Like, they were not even sending the whole team up front. So, I don't know. I think it played to their strengths. I was surprised. I'm not going to lie. I thought Spurs would win that game. Because I know people were saying, yeah, they'll probably rest most of the team for the Europa League fixture. And I'm not a big fan of that. People say that Arsenal should do that the same, and I disagree. So when I saw they started a good team, I was like, okay, I think this is a very good team that can beat Forest. So it was a bit surprising.
Can I ask a genuine question, everyone? If Spurs meet Man United in the final, who do you think is favorites to win that final? But before, big up everyone that joined us from the Football Terrace. Let's get the likes up, guys. We have 60 likes here, and we have like over 300 people in the house. So can we get the likes up a little bit, guys? We're just starting the show, so hit that like button, people. Let's go. Subscribe to the channel, of course, if you are new. So hit that like button, people. Come on now. We cannot be on 60 likes. At least 200 likes. Come on. Who do you think are favorite? Can you stop the mic? It's actually giving me a little bit of like...
Yeah, mic's going mad.
Let me just keep it red. That's it.
I think it's a 50-50.
Between Spurs and United?
Yeah.
Why
yeah, I would say Man United are favourites, as in they'll be considered favourites going into the game because it's a cup final. People always tell me Spurs are bottle jobs and Spurs aren't supposed to win finals. So Man United
forget the final, forget this shameless thing.
Yeah, that's
an
agenda.
From a football,
no, but that's what we're talking about. Who's better? We didn't say who. We didn't say who's going to win. Favorites are decided by like the general consensus as to what the narratives
No, it's decided by the panel here of 4 people. It's decided by us. Husam, stop it for real. It's decided by 4 of us.
Bro, stop. Halas, just talk.
I don't know. I don't know why people think it's... I generally think it's a 50-50 because, in my opinion, I mean, obviously Spurs beat them twice or thrice this season. Was it thrice or twice?
It is not a 50-50, guys, because they won't even face each other in the final. It's going to be Spurs against Bilbao.
Again.
I agree. But if they do meet in the finals, I do think it's a 50-50 because, yes, I know Spurs beat them. I know Spurs beat them.
And even if Man United beat Bilbao...
Leon is gonna knock Man United out.
And even if it's Spurs Bilbao, by the way, and even if it's Spurs Man United, it's not a 50-50. Spurs are gonna beat Man United. 50-50 my ass. So all this I've said from the start.
Also below Manchester United in the league.
So I made a round of 16 prediction from the beginning. I said Spurs are gonna make it to the final. Everyone laughed. Everyone started saying shit about Lazio.
Yeah, I remember that. And people
I'm the only one on this panel, by the way, to say that Spurs will make it to the Europa League.
No, guys, they haven't made it yet. Guys, they haven't made it.
Let me just clarify.
Bodo Glimp, shiver me timbers.
You heard me say a couple weeks ago that I don't think we're going to win. I was saying for 6 months at the start of the season that I think we'll win Europa League. I felt defeated.
Don't be shameless.
Don't lie.
No.
Why are you lying so much today? I said after we did a show on the Tuesday. On the Tuesday, 4 days after the Thursday, when you drew 1-1 with Frankfurt, and I said Spurs will go to Germany and win.
Go back to when we done a preview on my channel, for the Carabao Cup game, and we done a preview. I'll get that video up, and I remember saying Tottenham are going to win Europa League back then. I was saying for all season long, everyone's got me clipped up saying Spurs going to win Europa League. Spurs going to win Europa League.
I said that as well, but after the Frankfurt,
I retracted the statement a few weeks ago because I seen the team play so bad, and I was like, I can't see this team performing the way we are right now going on to win it. But at the start of the season, I did have the belief that we'd win it.
But you know that cup competition is completely different.
Yeah, but start of the season, you said it out of belief, bro. You didn't say it out of logic.
I said it for the first 6 months out of belief. Yes, of course. And out of logic.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we got really bad. And then I was like, okay, the performances do not look sustainable.
Yes, and that's why you said before Frankfurt you're not going to go through. But I said you're going to go through. So, yeah.
Yeah, luckily.
Spurs are gonna
guys, they're not through yet, guys. But I don't know. I know it's Bodo Glimp.
Arsenal are gonna lose Champions League, and Chelsea are gonna lose Conference League. That's my prediction.
Sam, would you rather have Spurs win Europa League just out of fun?
Bro, are you mad? Of course, bro. Liverpool and Spurs. What are we a rivalry now? Of course,
They're
I
not.
think.
You remember
Good luck
last
to you,
season you were
bro.
doing
Wait,
hate along.
I don't give a
This
shit.
guy was doing hate alongs for Spurs games. Just
Yeah,
because
like,
of
but
why.
خلاص, now
That's
that
because of
all the
VAR
Spurs fans
decision.
have
He was
disappeared.
just-
Yeah, now that all the Spurs
I'm
fans
gonna
have
be honest with you.
disappeared.
I want
This guy
Spurs to
himself
win Europa League.
apologized for backing Spurs. خلاص,
Oh yeah,
now
I
it's
did.
good.
I did.
Yeah.
You're now backing them.
You want to know Mo's opening statement for his apology? I now believe in ghosts. That's what his first statement when he was apologizing for. He's like, I believe in ghosts. This
يا
club is
عمي
not
والله
normal.
it doesn't matter how they play, they always lose. يا عمي أنا what do you want me to do? It doesn't matter how they play, they always lose.
I mean, they
Bro,
always
that
play the
is-
same way, right?
Yeah,
The style
I swear
hasn't
to God,
changed.
people, you guys don't understand. I backed Spurs a lot, even before I do YouTube. Right? My friend Kamal, right? He's an Egyptian guy that lived with me in America. Like, he used to manage our teams. He went to England, he went to London, his sister lives there, and he got like Spurs jerseys. He used to go to White Hart Lane, he now goes to Tottenham. And he made us all like, oh, this Spurs team is an underdog. And he made us believe that they're underdog. And we're like, okay, we'll watch it with you. And then we watch and then fucking lose. The Champions League final, the league against Leicester, bro. And like, fuck me, bro. When are you gonna win? They play good. Pochettino had Spurs play.
This season.
Bro, and I'm telling you, at some point,
Europa
Spurs
League
were
winners.
playing one of the most
14,
scintillating football in England with Harry Kane and Son. The most scintillating football, like Harry Kane, Son. They were the deadly duo, bro. You remember the Champions League running? And they're like, okay, they fucking lost the final by a handball by Sissoko because he's fucking directing traffic. Like, why are you directing traffic, bro? I wanted Salah to win.
It was just, yeah.
But no. By the way,
I
let's
get
just
your
establish something. I know that you're saying that by the law, that was a handball then.
Yeah, because
Like,
he's
we
doing
cannot because we cannot change the law.
Exactly
Now
right,
it's not a handball, Jordz.
It was not.
Like, we can't change the law then. Now it's not. At that time, it's a handball. They didn't have this sleeve
And plus,
shit.
Origi scored as well, so it ends the whole one.
I believe that if Ange Postecoglou
That game never happened,
break
Joe.
the
You thought it was going to be you.
George, you have to back him. You have to back him. You have to back Ange if he wins.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I think
If
if
you win
Ange
Europa, you won't
I
back him.
tell you now, I'm actually convinced.
Don't be
that-
guys ingenuous like this.
No, I'm convinced that if Ange wins, he resigns himself. I think Ange is at the point of where he's willing to leave the club. If you look at the way he talks in his interviews, even yesterday, he's just, looking down. Yeah, well, I actually think it was an outstanding performance. Like, I think the boys just didn't maintain the levels, and he's just lost his mind. He generally doesn't seem at one with the club. He doesn't seem like building that connection to the fans again, because that's what you ultimately have to do. If you win a trophy, you need to try rebuild that connection to the fans. He's broken that down completely. I think Ange resigns and does he'll go, oh, look, I won a trophy in my second season and I got you your only trophy in 20 years. That's the type of shit he's going to do. I feel like he's on the run of, do you know what? If you don't win it for if I'm not winning it for Spurs, I'm winning it for me. And he just wants to be right. So I generally wouldn't be surprised if he leaves after winning it. Like, if he did win it.
Yeah, probably. I generally think if Spurs beats, if Bilbao makes it to the final, I don't think Spurs win. I think if Spurs play United in the finals, I still think it's a 50. I still don't know why you guys are saying they're definitely in the finals, and I'm not even hating on Spurs.
I'm with you, Ashraf. I don't like.
Can I ask you something? Do you play?
Yeah, I don't think that makes sense.
Is the first leg at home or away?
It's Spurs ground.
Home.
Second leg is away for them, so that makes it trickier.
For Spurs, that's better. For
No,
any
it's
other
not.
team, no.
Bro. Just because they beat Frankfurt doesn't mean it's always going to be better. It depends.
Like,
if they draw
I would have preferred to be in the second leg at home.
Can I ask a general question to close this first section? Wallah al-Azim, I asked this. I tried to put a comment yesterday on the football terrace, but I couldn't. But before we do this, guys, let me just do this. Sean here is saying that Jota goal after Richarlison celebration. I don't know what he's talking about. Sam,
the 4-3.
Is that something you know?
The 4-3. The 4-3.
Yes. What he's basically saying is next week, inshallah, we will win the league on Ange Postecoglou's head top, which is going to be absolutely beautiful.
It's actually this week, not next week. But
Habibi, the Arab week ends ends on Saturday. It starts Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we start week.
Okay. So you know that week here in Egypt ends on Friday, right? In Egypt, it ends on Friday.
Yeah, it used to be like that in Dubai as well.
The new week starts on Saturday.
Saturday is a new week.
Wait, so Saturday, Sunday is still a weekend though?
Saturday
No.
is the first day of the week that government and stuff they
Yeah,
work. here,
Saturday is
Egypt.
not
Like
a weekend.
Saturday.
So the
the
weekend
first
is
day of the
Thursday,
new
Friday for them.
So when
The
you
weekend is
like,
Thursday, Friday.
That don't even sound right, bro. That don't even sound
No,
right.
it does. It does. I'll tell you why. Because in most Muslim countries,
Friday, Saturday, صح?
no, it's Sunday now. They've gone with Europe. Because in
Now-
most Muslim countries, Jordz, the Friday prayers are the prayers for the Muslims
Of
is on
course.
Friday.
Yeah.
So they keep that as the public
makes
holiday.
sense. Yeah.
What do you mean it's
Exactly.
Saturday, Sunday in the UAE?
It's Saturday, Sunday. They changed it 3 years ago.
طب
you
وصلاة
changed it,
الجمعة
Husam.
Friday they give you like 1 hour to go for prayers and come back.
Fair.
But Sharjah, which is a heavily Islamic emirate, has given Friday also off. So those who work in Sharjah and public sectors have 3 days weekend. A 3
3
day
days.
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah.
Must be nice, man.
Fair. Hey, send me
Must
to
be
shop now.
nice. That must be nice.
That's nice.
People are lucky. Might be lagging a little. Guys, hit that like
Yeah,
button,
of
guys,
course,
if you are
if-
here. Guys, listen to Luke.
Wait,
Thank you, Luke, for encouraging everyone to hit that like button. 700 people in the house.
Are we saying Liverpool
Am I
are going to
lagging,
win
right?
the
Am I
league?
lagging? I know, I can see.
A
my-
little bit.
No,
You're
I think it's
like-
fine now.
You're lagging. Leave
think
and rejoin. Leave and rejoin. Leave and rejoin.
Are we saying Liverpool could win the league at the Tottenham? Is it Tottenham Hotspur Stadium? Or
No, it's
Anfield?
not.
No,
Like,
that's
Habibi,
fine now. Internet is back.
At Anfield. Oh.
They're trying to do that. Tottenham. No, but it's fine. Do you know
No,
why?
no, I'm not.
Wait. Do you know why it's fine, Ashraf?
I'm
Because you're going to be
not,
giving
I'm
them the Guard of Honor the week after. So
I'm
it's all
not.
good.
Yes, they
Hold
are.
on.
Honestly,
Why
hey.
is Husam turning from
It
we're gonna
gets
win it?
better, Jordz.
Why are
It
we
gets-
gonna win it?
مؤمن انت معلق على الاخر روح اطلع وارجع اطلع مش سامعينك ولا شايفينك روح وارجع anyway Jordz, it's even better because the week after we get a guard of honor from Chelsea and then the week after that we get a guard of honor from Arsenal. So you see
I
all this
honestly don't.
you see all this Lavia Caicedo rejected Liverpool. Lavia and Caicedo will be sat like a bitch clapping for Wataru Endo. If I'm Arne Slot, I have to start Wataru Endo just so he gets the clap from Wataru Endo. And then the week after that, it's gonna be Arteta.
I don't mind as long as we win that game. I don't mind, to be honest. I don't care. I remember City.
win it.
I remember when City gave the Guard of Honor and they won
If you
4-0.
win the game, Ashraf.
Who gives a
What
fuck,
bragging
bro?
rights do you get if they've got the
Winning.
league already?
Okay.
No, I genuinely think I had this discussion with Husam last time. I think momentum matters for the Champions League. Like, obviously, we're not favorites, but like, if we want to have a chance to win it, that momentum doesn't.
What should I
wouldn't-
care?
I
me,
know.
I'm not
That's
gonna
why I said I care about my team doing well. For Liverpool, it doesn't matter. Of course not. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And by the way, the Chelsea Guard of Honor is even better.
Chelsea,
Caicedo.
oh.
So
Clap,
why that game,
clap يا
Ashraf?
كلب. This could have been you يا حيوان. Clap. Clap. It could have been you, but you chose that shit club. Enjoy your 8-year death row contract, mate. Enjoy it.
Is it only me? You guys can hear me now, of course, right?
Yeah, we can. It's good now.
Okay, so it's Jordz is out, right? It's not at me.
No, Jordz
No,
is here.
Jordz is here.
Okay. For some whatever reason, by the way, my internet is fine. It's StreamYard was lagging massive.
Fucking hell.
That old chestnut. Anyway.
Big up you lovely lot. Thank you, Mama Flossie. Thank you so much. Newcastle fan. With Tonali about to leave. Who gives a fuck? If Arsenal wins, we won the war. I don't understand.
Yeah. I agree. I'm just talking about our momentum. That's it. We were talking about Arsenal playing against Liverpool at Anfield.
I don't think it matters.
Ashraf is like, I
if
don't
you
care
are
about the
in
Guard of
Champions
Honor
League.
as long as we win. حكيت له طب and what my حبيبي win ما خلص I won the league. Also,
Yeah,
plus,
I know.
I love the fact that here's the thing people need to understand. As a Liverpool fan, I just don't want Man United winning trophies. That's it. If Arsenal win the Champions League, congratulations. طب ما I have 6 حبيبي. طب أنا why should I be upset? If Spurs win the Europa League, congratulations. You've been starving for fucking 20 years. Why should I be upset? Chelsea win the Conference League. Oh, whoop the days. You spent 1.5 billion to win the shittest trophy in Europe. I don't care يعني بصراحة. For me, it's all about stopping Man United. That's it. Because even yesterday when we were on A-listers, like Lewis and Igal started this thing where it's like Arsenal are closer to Man United than they are to like he's just doing too much. And then even like Lewis and everyone told him,
It's a
Bro,
load of crap. That's the
Liverpool and
most
Man
crap
United
I've
are
ever
in
seen.
the tier of their own at the top, and then you've got the clubs below that, like Arsenal, Chelsea, City. These are the like tier 2. Tier 1 is Liverpool, United. So for me,
I
I'm
agree.
all about United not winning trophies. So I'll be a Bilbao fan. I will learn the Basque language. You get me? And if Spurs get to the final against Man United, I will be, or when the Spurs go marching in, I'm gonna be all in, bro. Like I am completely a Spurs fan. I will wear a Spurs shirt as well. I'll buy a Spurs shirt. I don't even think they're available in Jordan, but I'll find a way to find one, bro. That's it.
It's so shameless. Big up Andrew on the road to 100 subs, guys. Support Andrew. Andrew has started a channel, of course, guys. He's always been supporting the channel, so support Andrew. Put that channel in the comments, Andrew, and I'm gonna try to put it on the screen. So just please put the channel in. Thank you, Andrew. Jamal is saying, can team reject a guard of honor? I was never asked.
It's all mandatory. It's
not
mandatory.
mandatory. They don't have to do it, but I suppose if they don't do it, they're just gonna start a run of other teams not doing it for them, and it'll just get a bit messy. So I feel
like this guard of honor thing. Like
honorary, it's an honorary thing, isn't it? Like you just do it out of honor for the other team, and you're gonna get it back eventually, isn't it? Like
as you can see, Jamal has no honor because there's something I want to tell you, Jamal. In 1998, when you won the Premier League, when Arsenal won the Premier League, Liverpool gave you a guard of honor. There is something about class, honor, and integrity. And you want to know something about when you lose, you should clap for the champion. This is just how it's been happening in the Premier League.
Did we give you a guard of honor when you won the league in 2020?
Yeah, you did. We got a guard of honor at the Emirates anyway. And Klopp is Haywan. He started ox that day. So you can already tell, like, Klopp was a Haywan that day. So we've already done this before. We've clapped for Arsenal.
We won.
It's not that deep.
We won that game. We won that game. Had good momentum, good confidence. We went and won the FA Cup. After we beat you, we beat City and we beat Chelsea. So hey, momentum does matter. Yeah. For you guys, it doesn't matter for shit. The moment you beat Spurs this week or this weekend, it's over. Like you shouldn't care. You shouldn't care. Yeah.
And that takes us to the conversation we had yesterday on the National League. Ashraf is who's gonna be favorites next season? Forget the transfer window, okay? Because that is out of our hands. Forget that Liverpool will sign a striker because Arsenal will sign a striker, Liverpool will sign a striker. Left winger, both will sign a left winger. That's on paper. Season ends now. Who's going to be favorites next year for the Premier League? Who would you put your money on to be favorites to win the Premier League next season? Because some people said it's going to be Liverpool. I'm going to ask Jordz this. Some people said it's going to be City with Pep Guardiola and Rodri back because he's not a new signing. Some people would say Arsenal because they still have the best team, the injuries and all this stuff. Who are favorites in 2026?
It's always the current holders, isn't it? I'll be honest. I'd have to go with Liverpool. I think Liverpool be the favourites, as in they start off in that position. Whether they have a good transfer window or not could alter that position. And I think the next team up would naturally be Manchester City because, like you highlighted, they've got the Ballon d'Or winner himself coming back to their team. So when you have the world's best player available, it's going to take your team to another level. Plus, Man City are showing ambition that they're actually going to go out there and make some heavy signings. So I'd go Liverpool, Man City, and then Arsenal in that order. Arsenal, obviously, again, they could bump themselves up in those rankings depending on their January transfer window. But if you're talking about just ending of this season and how it's gone in the league, I think I'd have Arsenal third, just because even though Man City have been bad, we know how bad Man City were early in the season. Even with 9 defeats, they are only 8 points of Arsenal, which 8 points is still a big gap. It's a big gap. But Man City went on a run of like a month or two where they won 2 games. So going that long of a run with the amount of missing players that they've got and so on, I'd just have Man City just above Arsenal for next year.
Do you think Liverpool with this same squad sorry, Ashraf, go ahead.
No, I was saying that because we were discussing about the transfer window yesterday. If we take transfer window into account, predicting what might happen, I would probably say City because I think they will do the business. But if we don't take transfer window into account, assuming teams finish the summer transfer window with the exact same team, minus KDB and minus Trent, who are definitely leaving, I don't know. Like it's crazy to say this, but I feel like City, in my opinion, are still lacking, even with the best player in the world coming back. Because I do think they have holes that they need to fix, which I definitely think they will fix. But in this hypothetical scenario, there's no transfer window, so they wouldn't have fixed it. And Liverpool, the reason I wouldn't put them as favorites is only because I feel when a team has, and look, they deserve the title this year. They've been amazing. They've played at 100% every single game up until recently. I feel that carries a toll on you if you don't actually back up and add transfers, because the injuries might increase, the players might not have that same level of motivation. And that's why transfer windows are so important, because it actually keeps the squad revitalized. So I feel if we take the transfer window out of the equation in this scenario, you guys will laugh. I feel Arsenal has an edge in that regards, because I think we've had such a bad injury record. Just from a probability perspective, I feel like those injuries might not be as high next season, right? And plus, our players, to be fair, that applies to City.
Once in your life, stop laughing and be not shameless once in your life.
Aqsam billah, I'm not trying to be shameless.
Not you. Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes,
me.
All I'm doing, yeah. Do you know why? It's just I generally just laugh.
Ashraf is explaining, and Jordz is like, the smirk is coming out, turning
I'm
into a
laughing
smile,
at the,
and it's about to turn into the biggest laugh.
Do you know what? No, do you know what it is? I didn't laugh at everything he said. I laughed at one specific thing, and it's just because I always hear this from Arsenal fans. And I was gonna ask Ashraf a question, but I was gonna let him finish before I asked the question. So finish, Ashraf, and then I'll ask you the question.
No, I was just gonna finish by saying, like, obviously this applies to City because they also have some young players, but I think the fact that some of our best players are still young and year on year are getting closer and closer to their peak, I think that also helps. Assuming you take away the transfer window, which I know is not reality. The reality is you have to take the transfer window into account, which most likely will put City as favorites. But in most question, if assuming no transfer window, I think we end up having the edge. But I do agree, because someone in the comments said it, I do agree if Arteta could be a factor in that if we don't end up doing it, but hopefully he
What do you mean doing it?
well.
Like winning the Champions League?
Winning the league. I'm saying winning the league. I still have a question mark of can Arteta do it, but I think this Champions League might show us a lot of things. If he ends up making it to the final and performing well, then maybe.
Just on the injuries, can you give me a percentage as to what you think the injuries are as to why you didn't win the league? Because I just keep hearing Arsenal fans love to talk about injuries, and they love to talk about,
Can I change the question, Jordz? How much the injuries contributed to not challenging? Because we know that in general, not winning, challenging. Because the injuries might maybe made them closer, might not, but it's not like that notion that, oh my God, if Arsenal didn't have injuries, they would win the league.
Because Odegaard was worse than Kevin.
Because if you say that, I think people are wrong to say this, but.
They are more, bro. Generally, there's a lot of Arsenal fans out there that would tell you if they had Saka, they would have won the league. Like that is
I disagree with this.
I want to know what Ashraf thinks, and if he thinks
Liverpool at this point in time in the season has more points than the last 4 Premier League champions.
I think because we spoke about this before. I remember I said I think it did play a part. In my opinion, I won't give you percentage, Jordz. I'll give you the ranking of which things I think had the biggest impact.
Fine.
For me, injuries come third. Of all the things that didn't allow us to challenge till the very end or win the league, whichever it is, I think injuries is third in that list. That doesn't mean it is important. Obviously, it is a top 5 reason, top 3 in my opinion, but I don't think it's first or second, which is why I don't use it as the main attribute. I think the first is poor tactical management by Arteta in some games. I look at 3-4 games where I feel we could have won even with the team we had. Right, and those 4 games we drop points in, 4 or 5 games we drop points in, outside the red cards. Forget the red card games. Let's exclude those. There are 4 or 5 games I feel we could have got more points in that would probably have put us very, very close to Liverpool right now. The second thing is recruitment, which also for me partly falls on Arteta because he decided to go for someone like Havertz for 65 million. I think if we just signed a striker and nobody else, even with the injuries, we would have won at least like 10 more points this season.
Okay.
And then third is injuries.
Let me just say this. 2 things. First of all, next season, I like to go based off of data. I'm a data guy when it comes to analyzing football clubs. Pep Guardiola in his whole career has never went 2 years without a league title. Ever. He has never. Do you understand this? So Jordz is currently, a adult. Myself and Ashraf are both adults. We've been watching football for a long time. Since 2008, when Pep Guardiola started managing, it is 2025. He has never went 2 years without a league title. So it's not a 2-year sample size or a 5-year. It is almost 20-year sample size of never going 2 years without a league title. That's number 1. Number 2, let's look at the establishments. Sheikh Mansour versus Kroenkes versus FSG. FSG are the bottom of the three. Sheikh Mansour, excellence, wants to win everything. Forget how they acquired the money and blah, blah, blah. We know that they spend it smartly, which means, is Sheikh Mansour going to give 110%, 115% to make sure that Manchester City win the league next season? Yes. They are going to do their absolute best to ensure that they win the league next season. And as a matter of fact, look at who City are linked with. Florian Wirtz, Musiala, etc., etc., etc. So they're not going into the summer trying to fuck around. And City did a 4K, like 4D chess move that people aren't talking about. You want to know what them signing Nico Gonzalez, Marmoush, Vitor Reis, and Kusanov does? These 4 players now have 6 months of Premier League experience. They're used to the league. They're used to the city. They're used to the manager. They're used to everything in this league. And next season, when it starts, it's not like Marmoush is getting used to the Premier League. No, he's already used to it. It's not like Kusanov is getting used to Pep. He's already used to it. It's not like Nico Gonzalez doesn't understand the system. He understands it. And that's the point. Which is why I will say, based off of all historical evidence and data, City are going to win the league next season. Now, transfer window plays a big role. Let's say, for the sake of argument, Newcastle finish outside the top 5, Liverpool sign Isak. Will that change my mind? Of course. Because if I've got Salah and Isak in the same team, I would be an idiot to not back my club to win the league, 100%. But if Liverpool, as an example, don't sign a centre-back and I've got Turaya and Gomez and Kwanzaa again, okay, maybe I might not be as confident. If we run it back with Robertson, I might not be as confident. So this is very highly transfer window dependent. Now, back to the question that Jordz asked about injuries. I think there is something that people aren't talking about, and that's the Arsenal mentality problem. One of the things that all of us have spoken about on shows, every time Liverpool dropped points, Arsenal dropped points in the game after. We need to ask ourselves why this happened. I need an honest, objective answer to it. I remember myself and the Liverpool fan base were all in meltdown after we drew 2-2 to Aston Villa. You guys remember?
Mm-hmm.
We went away to Villa. Arsenal were 8 points behind us. Had they beaten West Ham at home, they would have went 5 points behind us. And we were all livid at Darwin Núñez, and we were all upset, and we were all shouting and insulting and everything. Even I made a video on my channel called I'm Starting to Get Worried. Title of the video, most watched video on my channel. I'm starting to get worried. After the Villa game, I was livid. West Ham then pull up to the Emirates without Paqueta, without Somerville, and without Vladimir Soufal, and they win 1-0 at the Emirates. Now, I'm sorry, whether you had Odegaard and Saka or not, I'm expecting Arsenal Football Club, who are challenging for a title, to beat West Ham 1 at home and not lose 1-0. And then they end up losing to West Ham 1-0. And then they end up going away to Forest and losing or drawing. And then they end up dropping points and points and points and points. So they were right there. And then we just created that separation, which is why I do not think it's injuries. Ashraf is bang on. People are not talking about Arteta tactically this season. Can I be genuine with you guys? You see that second half that Arsenal played against Real Madrid? The only other time I saw Arsenal play that style and brand of football all season long is Nottingham Forest at home at the Emirates. Like Nottingham Forest at home at the Emirates, strong opposition, come to the Emirates, 3-0, pow, slapped. I've seen Arsenal capable of playing that brand of football where they attack and they dominate and they destroy teams. But they're not doing that. The difference between Arsenal and Liverpool is the following. Arsenal and Liverpool have lost as many games as each other this season. Arsenal have lost 3 in the league. Liverpool have lost 2. Okay? But here's the 2 Liverpool losses. Fulham and Nottingham Forest. Those 2 games. Liverpool peppered the opposition net and the goalkeeper had an amazing game. And, you know, we attempted a higher XG and more shots on target and everything. When Arsenal are losing, I'm not getting that feeling that Arsenal are destroying the opposition net and they hit the post 2 times and they hit the bar once and they're dangerous all game. It just seems like there's this sinking, give up feeling. And it just seems like they don't have the forwards to unlock an opposition, which is why I don't think injuries are the reason why Arsenal did not win the league last season. And as a matter of fact, just to prove that I keep the same energy, even last season, when we had even more injuries than Arsenal have this season, I did not say that injuries are the reason why Liverpool didn't win the league last year. I never said that. I said we should have signed the forward in January. I said it's Núñez and Diaz, number 1 reasons why we didn't win the league last season. And I stick by that. If I could go back to last year and give myself Mateta instead of Núñez, I believe I'm sat here Premier League champion.
And that's the bottom line. So for me, I think there's a lot of examples and there's so much data to prove it. Like Arsenal dropped points in 4 games. I always mention this because this is very important. Everton at home, Fulham away, Newcastle away, and Chelsea away. These 4 games, there was 0 controversy, there was 0 injuries, you had your full team, and you dropped points to teams you're expected to beat. So now what? I have sample size of when you're fully fit and you still drop points, which is why I appreciate the likes of Ashraf who come here and say Liverpool are deserved league champions. We only have ourselves to blame. Arteta's at fault for 1, 2, 3. Player X is at fault for 1, 2, 3. And I'll end on this with the injuries point. If you want to use Saka's injury as an excuse, I get it because I rate Saka highly. But please don't come tell me Odegaard's injury is the reason why you didn't win the league. Because with all due respect, ever since Saka and Odegaard have been back, I'm not looking at Arsenal going like, wow, they really need Odegaard so badly. Odegaard for Arsenal currently right now, and no one can convince me otherwise, is doing the same exact job that Szoboszlai does for Liverpool. Initiating the press, work rate, running around, blah, 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 creating space for the others. And that's it. Odegaard is not 15 assists season, Odegaard. Odegaard was the worst outfield player against Real Madrid home and away, in my opinion. I've seen Kivior play better than him. And that's Kivior that all your fan base wanted sold in the summer. So we cannot use Odegaard's injury as an excuse.
The Odegaard again, the Odegaard. Do you believe you can win the league? Do you believe you can win the league without McAllister? Do you believe you can win the league without McAllister?
You didn't even hear... By the way, I've been speaking for like 4 minutes straight. You didn't even hear a word I said. Except Odegaard. Okay, so let Ashraf and Jordz respond because you didn't hear. First, listen to the conversation.
Can I put a shameless plug before I go in? I'm actually less than 15 subscribers away from 31,000 subscribers.
Hey,
can we get these 15 subs, guys? If you're not subbed, then like the video so it goes to new viewers and we get new
subscribe from my channel.
Like, please, guys.
Husam isn't already subscribed. It's crazy.
He's just gonna subscribe.
Guys, everyone can subscribe, guys.
Guys, let's go. Share the video, people. Come on. I'm 15 subscribers away. Yalla, let's go. Go ahead. Sorry.
The only thing I'll say, Husam, to what you've... by the way, I agree with everything you've said. One thing, like, shamelessly on Pep, I know he's never gone back-to-back without winning a league, but he's also never finished this bad, ever, with any team in terms of a league position. So, hopefully, like, in terms of outside top 2.
In his first season.
No,
he finished third in his first season.
Yeah, but that was his first season. Yeah, correct. He finished third in his first season. But this now, the way things are going, he'll probably finish 4th or 5th, and that probably is his worst ever league finish. On Arsenal, I'll just say, while I agree with everything, the one thing I'll say that I don't think that was the case, I think, is the mentality thing, because I have seen us in other cases where we showed good mentality. I don't think the mentality goes and comes. I think it's just Arteta poorly managing certain games. Like, I look at the West Ham game is an amazing example, and Newcastle and Chelsea, I think you've mentioned, and there was another game, Everton, Fulham. I think those games don't have anything to do with mentality. I think it's bad management by the manager. You've said it perfectly. Like, we lost and we were losing those games, but we never looked like we were peppering them or going attack after attack, or just very simple, committing people forward, asking 3-4 players, crash the box. If we're putting crosses anyways, I need 4 people to be at the end of that cross, not 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
That for me is tactical approach. And that's why I feel like Arteta should take the blame for that. Again, I'm not saying he's a shit manager or not. I've always said he's a good manager, but he has he lacks certain things that unfortunately in some games ended up. He has shortcomings that unfortunately affected us in certain games. And in those specific games you have mentioned, I think in majority of them he mismanaged those games. And I think those are the main reasons. But in terms of mentality, I think seeing what we did against Madrid, seeing what we did last season, obviously in the league when we challenged till the end, seeing his result or his performances against the big 6 teams in the Premier League this season and last season, I think we have the mentality. He just needs to manage games proper. And that's what Slot did really well this season. That's what Pep has been doing incredibly well last couple of years. They know how to manage certain games, especially games when you know, man, it's just not your day. The team is sitting back. They're
putting on Endo when you're 1-0 up to just close the game
Exactly. Out. You bring on a player, you make a tactical sub, you make some sort of change that even though your players are not on their form, and that happens. Lots of teams can have players out of form. But when your players are out of form, your manager at halftime does something to change it. And Arteta hasn't done that in a couple of games this season, which cost us.
Yeah, and one of the things that you guys always criticize him is for late substitutions and stuff like this. Like, there are so many things that you guys brought up even as your own fan base, and Listen,
Correct.
Ashraf is saying it as the Arsenal fan. People sometimes dislike the messenger, not the message, but it's the truth. If me and Jordz says it,
all the time, Husam. If it
yeah,
ever comes
that's the
to-
truth.
I
If
can
me and
even see
Jordz
them in the
says it,
comments now, they're trying to go, "Oh, Husam's just winning in his league and he's focusing on Arsenal." No. The conversation is Arsenal.
It's about
yeah,
Arsenal.
like
It's
that's
our
the
opinions
question,
on
guys.
Arsenal, and we're giving our opinions. You just don't like to hear it. Well, when Ashraf
And
says he
actually,
agrees-
I answered most question by saying Man City. I didn't even say my own club. I said Man City will win the league next season. So it's just people are just rattled and angry for no reason. And that comes from Arsenal fans having validation fetish. This is reality. This is truth, by the way. So many people are begging for validation. Bro, I have validated Arsenal on multiple occasions, but please don't come tell me that injuries is the reason why you didn't win the league, because it's total horseshit. It's just not.
Yeah.
Because we have our own eyes. We're watching. Arsenal have dropped points in 14 out of 32 games, out of 31 games before Ipswich. Bro, that's like you drop points once every 2 games, Habibi. You know Wolves have a 5-game winning streak, Premier League only. You know Arsenal haven't even matched Wolves' winning streak. Are you aware of how mad that is? Just deep it. From August until today, you have not won 5 Premier League games in a row. Wolverhampton Wanderers have done 5 in a row. And you're telling me it's just injuries? Of course it's not just injuries. So for me, Arsenal are doing a fantastic job in the Champions League, but in the Premier League, no. And to answer Mo's starting question, based off data, I have to say Manchester City are winning the league next season because of all the information I have. Pep never went 2 seasons without a league title. Sheikh Mansour gonna give 115% for City to win the league. They're gonna go get Florian Wirtz or Musiala or blah blah blah. They always look at the best of the best. That's just the truth of the matter. Arsenal want Gyökeres, Liverpool want Isak. Okay, Habibi, if Isak doesn't work, who we're gonna get? Delap. If this guy doesn't get Gyökeres, who he's gonna get? Sesko. Now there's a difference, Habibi. City do things differently. City go for A-star players, bro.
In my
There is
opinion
no
about
way they lose De Bruyne and not get someone world class.
Yeah, they're gonna get someone
is-
with weight in this.
Here is
game.
my
But
opinion about this
Musiala-
Arsenal and who's going to be next season. I genuinely believe that the injuries to Saka actually changed the way they look at this season. Liverpool might have still won the league. I still think that even if Arsenal had all their players, Liverpool would have won the league. And the reason why, because you cannot have a player like Mohamed Salah doing, I'm going to repeat this again for the people that don't understand. Mohamed Salah is having the best ever Premier League season for a football player, ever in the Premier League history, by the way.
Statistically only. Let's just confirm this. Statistically only.
But that is what wins them the point. I'm like, I don't understand this, but that's what wins them the point.
I just wanted you to add
just-
that in so people know you meant statistically only.
No, which is
I mean,
fair. I think what Jordz is saying is fair because by that
course,
logic,
there
Van
are-
Dijk will never get that recognition. Like,
yeah,
Or
but
season
Van
he
Dijk-
had,
Van
right?
Dijk-
Ronaldo winning a
Yeah,
Ballon
just
d'Or
go-
whilst playing in the Premier League is not a better. Like,
No,
yeah, I'm
no.
just
Van
saying.
Dijk. Okay, hold
no,
on.
no, but no, that's
I
not the
think
same.
he's missing the point.
Owen won a Ballon d'Or playing in the Premier League.
Maybe Ronaldo has had a better season in terms of like maybe playing well, dribbling a couple of people, helping Man
And
United,
outside the Premier League.
Man
winning more trophies,
winning more trophies, whatever.
Yes.
In the Premier League itself, I don't think there is any, statistically and factually, there is no one in the history of the Premier League has helped their team as much as Mohamed Salah helped his team this season. Is that right to say?
Yeah, 100%.
statistically,
Like,
by the numbers,
Right?
yeah.
Like Mohamed, I can go back and check the number of points that teams won. Mohamed Salah has helped Liverpool more than any player has helped this team to win games. Is that statistically, George? Or if you like to add that word, right?
Guys, he's contributed to over 60% of Liverpool's goals in a
You
single
know when
season.
you
in the
say
Premier
that,
League.
Ashraf? Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know how
It-
mental that is?
You
That is a lot,
mentioned
that is a
Mohamed
lot, and I'm
Salah,
not taking
and
nothing away
people
from
heads
that.
get like this. You just mentioned Mohamed Salah, and people heads like,
Yeah, facts,
Huh?
facts. I
And
know,
George,
Even
no, no, no,
Messi-
no, no,
Even
no,
Messi
no.
sometimes didn't have
established.
60.
I don't like
No,
Salah.
no,
I have
it's
agenda against Salah. Husam knows that. It's nothing. There's nothing.
George,
that's
can I
not
ask you a
right.
genuine question? Genuine
100%.
question. Forget
What is-
agendas. The Ronaldo season.
Wallahi,
that you're
I was
talking
about to make the
Wait,
point,
wait,
but
wait,
George
one
is like
second,
wanted to
one
say
second, one second more.
statistically.
More, 1 second.
I was
George,
ready to
the-
let you go, but
George,
Husam was
George,
taking
the
my
season that
Ronaldo
you're
now.
talking about.
Move it
One
over
second,
around,
more. Stop throwing your toys at the pram. George, the season that you're talking about with Ronaldo, who were the 2 people in the front 3 with him?
Rooney, Tevez. Yeah.
Tevez and Rooney
Rooney.
and Berbatov as
Correct.
well. You know that, right?
Berbatov, no, Berbatov was the season after.
That season.
Season after.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Correct.
Tevez and Rooney Diaz and Jota.
No, I get that. That's a completely different
Diaz,
conversation.
Nunes, Jota, Gakpo
then
injured
wait,
for like
to
15
say about-
games.
to say
If
about
you
the
tell me right
Ashraf-
now, would I rather have Carlos Tevez alone or all the other 4 forwards I have? I'm choosing Tevez.
Because if you guys want to do numbers and percentages, you do know if
Can
you
we
look at a lower.
Salah?
Do you know
Can
what?
we just
I'll let you
go
go.
to
Go on. Do
Salah?
Salah. Do Salah. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I was gonna make
I'll let you-
point about Arsenal.
He's making a point that has nothing to do with your shit agenda.
That has nothing to do with
This
Salah.
guy was arguing Son over Salah 4 years
Wallahi,
ago.
la
That's
Salah,
dead,
wala, no Salah.
I hear
nothing.
Salah, my head goes somewhere else. That's what.
Yeah,
it is,
for
bro. I'm
some
ready
whatever
to-
reason,
Why?
you're one of millions of people around in the world that just don't like Salah for some whatever reason because he doesn't have a first touch, even though he does. But fine, even though the point is Salah has contributed a lot. About next season, do I think Salah will contribute as much? No, but I believe that if Saka stays fit, I believe that Arsenal will be equal to Liverpool next season. And because they have a better defense, because they already have a better depth defensively, they don't need to add more. They have better depth in the middle at the current moment. Liverpool don't have a lot of depth. I think that it's going to be Arsenal favorites for me. However, what Sam mentioned is truly correct. What if Man City go and freaking get Rodri and get another midfielder, get another winger, get Wirtz, and all the center backs are fit, and they get Costa, for example? Yes. Or they get like whatever, Unai Simon, doesn't he play for Bilbao? Yeah, we'll talk about Pep Guardiola. At the current moment, what hindered Arsenal this season, apart from Arteta's management, right, is the injuries. Liverpool were helped by having Mohamed Salah fit all season, but Arsenal didn't. Arsenal started winning games, by the way, in January and December. Then Salah got injured in a Crystal Palace game when they won 5-1. They won 2 games, and now the points started dropping from them. This is why when I say that Arsenal might have challenged it better than this without the injuries, I say yes. And my evidence is Arsenal, second half of the season last season was much better than the first half. So maybe Arteta was doing the same, as Pep did the same before. This is why when I say the injuries affected Arsenal challenge, it did massively. Arsenal could have been toe-to-toe with Liverpool, but they didn't because of the injuries. And for that, we're not going to go into the Odegaard discussion again, Husam. I believe that Arsenal don't have a replacement for someone like Odegaard in the midfield. They just don't, right?
Ethan Waneri.
Is he contributing goals? No, he's not. But he's actually doing something else. The manager's asked him to do something else. Moreno can do his job. Rice can do his job. Partey can do his job, right? And that is why I think that Odegaard injury hindered them, because they started again with Odegaard. They won the first 2 games, and after this, they turned into crap. Factually, by the way, you watch the games, Arsenal were crap without Odegaard after this. They couldn't move the ball to the wingers. It was too slow. It was ridiculous. It was like, who's running the midfield? And it was like this. So this is why I say that injuries affected them. Same as I think that if Van Dijk got injured for Liverpool, they would have lost the league. If Salah got injured, they would have lost the league. They might not have contributed. They might not have won the league. So I have to be consistent here, right? By the way, Husam in the beginning of the season was saying that Saka is contributing to everything that Arsenal does. He's the only one who bails them out. He's the only one who creates chances for them. He's the only one who's the go-to guy for them. And we have seen when he came back against Real Madrid, he's the one who won the 2 free kicks that I scored. He's the one that made Real Madrid lean left in terms of defense. It's just very apparent and obvious that Saka's injury affected them mentally, and that is on them because they didn't get backup. But in the same time, right, Liverpool don't have a backup for Salah. Do Liverpool have a backup for Salah?
No.
Chiesa.
No. He have some shame and decorum. He is my ass, right? So Liverpool don't have a backup for Salah. So it's the same conversation. Like if Salah got injured, you would blame FSG for not getting the backup right for them. Saka got injured, we blame Arteta because he didn't want to get a right winger in the summer. They got Raheem Sterling. And they couldn't get a right winger in January because whatever the board did this. And they don't have a striker. Both strikers got injured. Jesus and Havertz got injured. So basically, you blame him for the build, but you can't blame him for like, oh my God, the season went to shit because we have injuries. Fine. It's because of this. Let me do these super chats because there's a lot of them and we need to go through them as well. AMT is saying, actually, 97-98 season, Liverpool done the double against Arsenal in the Premier League and Arsenal still won the league. I don't know what is that reference to be honest, AMT. Is that a
I was
reference
talking about Guard of Honor, by the way, guys, not who did the double or who won or anything.
Yeah, okay. See.
I'm pretty sure we've done the Guard of Honor for Arsenal before. I don't know which year it was. I might have gotten the year wrong, but I'm sure we did the Guard of Honor anyway.
Never say never. Remember the season, Manchester City. He's talking about a fall off from Liverpool that can happen next season. It can. If Salah is not contributing the same, if they don't get the adequate backups, if they, for example, who is the striker that we think Liverpool will go for? Can someone give me a name?
Isak.
Give me one name.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
to see
don't
them
think
go
they'll
for
go for
someone
us,
of a
so.
lower level, like a Watkins or something. You know,
Or Joe
No,
Pedro.
Watkins won't
below,
happen.
the
Age.
step below.
Watkins.
Watkins
Yeah,
won't
can I ask
happen
you-
just because
can I
of
ask you
age.
gen- Okay, I need Husam. I need a name apart from Isak, who's going to be 150 million. I need a name in the market. We know that Arsenal.
There's many we're looking at. I can't tell you an exact name. We're looking at Isak if Newcastle don't make Champions League, and then after that we're looking at the likes of Ekitike, Delap, players like that. So
That's
But let me
another. I
ask-
think Etitike would be very likely as well. Good striker.
Ekitike.
Ekitike, Delap, Osimhen. We
Ekitike.
will link to many of them. Cunha. I don't know who we're gonna get, to be honest with you.
So we think that if Salah half his GA,
Alvarez is, according to reports, not happy with his time as Atletico.
I
So
think
I
if
don't
you
know.
get Julian Alvarez, I think it's going to be done.
Remember what
Salah
I
and
told you
Julian
last
Alvarez
summer?
is-
Remember
Yeah,
what I told you? There is a transfer that if it happened, it will break the internet from a rival club. Julian Alvarez, I told you.
You wanted Julian Alvarez from City?
Yeah, Liverpool refused to give them Diaz and money though. بعرفش ليش. Dumb decision.
There was a saga there, started
Yes,
by journalist, and then it died because
So
you
the
didn't
only
want
way
to
we
sell
get
Diaz,
Julian
yeah.
Alvarez is if Simeone wakes up and he's in love with Nunes and we can give him Nunes and money.
Nunes. Simeone with Nunes. No. AMT saying, go watch now that Saka goal against Real Madrid. Was that
Yeah.
that is a reference of what?
What was,
What's that
I don't know.
Mikel Merino. That was a reference to Mikel Merino, I think, as a forward versus Richarlison or something like this.
Oh.
Propaganda
it was
saying,
interesting.
will winning the Champions League fix the mentality in the league? That's a very good question. Yes.
If we didn't win the Champions League in 18-19, I don't think we would have won the league in 19-20. Honestly.
So you think if Arsenal win the Champions League to become favorites of the Premier League?
No, because it depends on their transfer window
I
activity.
feel like winning something like a Champions League makes you hungry for more, and it makes
Yeah.
you demand.
Don't
more.
come tell me Arsenal favorites after they sign Sesko. Like, I'm not going to say
Yeah,
that.
but
Hear it from a Spurs fan.
Yeah,
Definitely. You know about that.
I don't even know what he's referring, but it's fine.
Don't worry about it. It's a small dig that nobody got. The games we lost or drew, we had over 20 shots on goal. The problem we had was shots on target and teams were packing their box. 2 games, we had a full team. They had a full team 2 games only? No, I think that's like 3-4 games.
No, it wasn't 3 or 4 games. It was only 2 games. Like, but that's again, it's not the point.
You only
the point
had
is,
two full team 2 games?
I think. No, I'm saying he's talking about the games where we drop points in. I think that's what.
And by the way,
Brian,
Liverpool
correct me if I'm wrong. You're referring to that, right?
Liverpool dropped points again when they had like a full team. They did it against Newcastle. No, Alisson was injured. They
Alisson
did
was
it against
injured.
Nottingham Forest. Didn't they do it against Nottingham Forest? Didn't they draw against Man United? Didn't
They drew 2-2, but I don't know if they had their full team. I think they had their full team. That I could be wrong.
Okay, AMT here is saying
But teams pack their bus against Liverpool as well.
oh yeah, all day, by the way, all day. You know, I
Bro,
went
this
and
is the
checked that
thing.
Husam.
Bro, ask Jordz right now. Jordz, when you were good under Poch, did teams not park the bus against you every week?
Every week, bro.
Every week.
It didn't
Bro,
matter.
the whole, like,
happens.
is that why? Can we
By the way,
stop-
teams park the bus against us every week as well. Why are we acting
Yeah,
like it's
that's
not
what-
you?
No, I'm not disagreeing with that, but he's making
no,
it
I know,
like
no, not you.
it's an
Hold on.
Arsenal
Hold
thing.
on, Husam. Are people giving Arsenal excuses because teams park the bus, but they
Park
park
the bus against,
City,
bro. Did you see
Liverpool,
what,
they park the bus.
how parked the Leicester bus was? You
Yeah.
realize they didn't even have, like, their striker was literally like DM. You realize this? Like, he was so parked, bro.
Saka
Big
goal
man.
against Real Madrid regarding Odegaard. I mean, like the rule of Odegaard in that goal. Yes.
Yeah, that's true actually. Yeah.
That's very true. Ash is a waffler. Husam with a bombastic coping.
But
You're
why
an
is it
Arsenal
bombastic
fan?
coping? Because it
Why?
doesn't suit your narrative, doesn't suit your agenda. All 4 of us here on the panel disagree on multiple different topics. We can have a conversation about it. But you, because you belong to North Korea Arsenal fans group, you think that just because someone told you online it's injuries, that they're right. It's not injuries. And I've given you enough proof and data why it's not injuries. If you think it's injuries, then listen to this. Liverpool at this point in time in this season
have more points than Arsenal did in match week 33 and City did in match week 33 last year. Now what? And that's with you winning 16 and 18. So sit on the floor. Please take that for data.
Ahmed is saying we don't have the bench to change the game. Nor do Liverpool. But Salah was there all season. Nor would Liverpool. By the way,
what does the bench have to do with what I've said? Like, you pick Everton. Did we need a bench to come off and change that game?
Do you need a bench to beat West Ham with
drew?
Liverpool
Did we need a bench?
Everton as well.
Chelsea
drew against Everton.
Chelsea,
as well.
Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge when Trossard missed that sitter at the end. Did we need a bench to come off and win that game?
You need a bench to
Newcastle
beat Man United with no Lisandro Martinez, with no Diallo, with no Ugarte.
Newcastle away. Yeah, Newcastle away from home. Bruh, we didn't have a shot on target. What are you guys on about? It has nothing to do with the bench. We played really bad. We played very conservative. We were not committing players forward. We were asking our wingers to track back. And I know that's what they do every single game, but there are certain games when we have to take risks and say, Saka, stay forward. We're going to need to counterattack a bit more. That's what Liverpool did in certain games, and they opened teams up.
100%. Thomas, you rattled a lot of people, bro. You rattled a lot of fucking people. The problem now is that when Husam and Jordz talk, people, all they hear is like, we hate Arsenal, we hate Arsenal. Guys, I want to tell you guys something. Wallah, about YouTube. I try to my channel, like even though there is Jordz here, there is Husam, there is me, we're all shameless. Ashraf is not as shameless as us. But even this show, we are trying to have an objective conversation. We might agree, as Husam said, we might disagree. That's why it's called a YouTube debate. We can't just sit here and be all like, oh, repeating the same points and we all agree. And then it's not going to be a show. A COVID title and a season defined by injury, ravage. Exactly. Look at this. Opponent and PG Mall favors truly historic stuff. Worst champion season since the Leicester one.
Last season, Haaland was injured for 2-3 months.
Stop.
Haaland was...
Stop. Guys, let's talk about the Leicester season. Liverpool, as things stand, have 79 points after 33 games. This is a Leicester season, guys. Last season, after 33 games, Arsenal had 74 points. The season before that, they had 75. Remember the Saliba season. City last season had 76 points after 33 games. And the season before, they had 79 points after 33 games. So the only team out of Arsenal and City over the last 2 seasons to match us for points is the City team that beat Arsenal to the league 2 years ago. So there is literally no historic evidence to show any of this about your club, literally. So, yeah.
Guys, last season...
Also, if you want to talk about COVID, you won the COVID FA Cup, which is the only trophy Arteta won.
True.
So if you want to cancel that, let's cancel that. Second of all, if you're talking about COVID title, the winners of the COVID title are Manchester City. Because the year after, there were no fans from match week 1 until match week 38. The year that Liverpool won the league, there were fans up until March. Big up, though.
Can we stop this COVID title? COVID, everything shut down. Liverpool played the Atletico Madrid games with fans. They have already won the league. I think they were 19 points ahead at that time.
March. That was March.
That was in the beginning of March.
You're ruining the narrative. The narrative sounds better.
Jordz, we can do the narrative thing, but that is not the truth.
Narrative sounds better because factually, COVID started in March 2020. So they aren't wrong in saying the title was won during COVID. You can't lie. It is the narrative is made because
Man City won a whole.
That's not the narrative they mean, though, Jordz. That's not the narrative they mean.
The context makes it boring. So I like what Thomas, shout out to you. Great super chat. I think you were talking facts.
And by the way, last season, people keep saying this. Guys, last season, Haaland was out for like 2 or 3 months. KDB was out for like 5 months. City had a bunch of injuries. They also could, outside that Spurs game, where I think Spurs just threw the game away, and then United, who were just absolute dog shit. They couldn't win against any of the other big 6 teams.
Before I do the super chat, someone is telling me aloud. People want to hear the agenda, but hear me out.
Yeah, they want to hear the agenda, yeah.
But hear me out. When we have agendas against your club, you come crying in the chat.
Exactly.
You want to hear the agendas about other clubs.
Ravarelli and Thomas Hernandez have been crying for the last hour and 8 minutes. Every single one of them have tears in their eyes as they're writing on their phone.
Why are you so shameless? Why don't you speak objectively about my club? Why don't you speak objectively about my club?
Husam, I want to ask you a question. If you had Salah injured, would you win the league? Oh my God. That's you all streamlog.
Yeah, and honestly, I just see. I don't usually respond to some comments, but Jamal is saying we also had injuries last year. What are you talking about? I picked Haaland and KDB, who are their best two attackers, who are out for months. KDB was out for months. I think Haaland was out for like almost 2 months. Who did we have out? Yes, Thomas Partey, but that's it. None of our attackers were out for that long. Saka was there all season. Saliba, Gabriel there all season. Martinelli there for majority. He played 35 Premier League games and he was horrendous. Gabriel Jesus was there. Havertz was there all season. Guys, let's be objective,
guys, last season, there is no excuses.
It was a good season. It was not a bad season. It was a very good season.
You literally won 16 out of an 18 games, drawing one and losing one. No excuses.
Yeah, 100%.
It's these 2 games that cost you. West Ham, Aston Villa, done. Over. Let's move on.
And Fulham home and away.
Yeah. Arsenal have never reached 90 points under Mikel Arteta. Rest Mo. Point tally don't matter.
What does that have to do with anything?
Points tally don't matter, right? Because it's not the barometer. It's not the barometer for winning titles, AK. Statistically, Jordz throw off the host once per show.
Once per show is very generous.
Once is very generous.
Yeah, I don't think it's
like 15 times, bro. Subscribe to Durak Diaries.
Saka Gola, we did that one. Kenny is saying, are Liverpool and Spurs on the same level still, George? Oh fuck!
You
never said that.
I never said that. People are just making up lies.
Kenny, if you have a clip, you know my Instagram, you know my Twitter.
I know what he's talking about. He's referring to a clip of where I was comparing the attacks at the start of the season, the attackers that we had, and statistically, I mean, I haven't been wrong. Spurs attackers have been like by GA.
Who are the attack? Kulusevski,
I'd be fair. No, we done like all attackers. We're just talking about like the actual attackers.
All of them with Brennan Johnson, with Odegaard,
Kulusevski,
and Odegaard. Okay.
And I mean, 5 of our attackers have got 20 GA. So,
you know why Liverpool have more points at this stage than Arsenal and Man City? This season is weaker than last season. Agenda. But when if Husam says something, big up AMT. I know you're being sarcastic.
Yeah, it's being sarcastic.
Last part is we started.
There is a literal Champions League player in the 17th placed club, but okay, mate.
Who's that?
Matheus Cunha.
Okay.
Champions League quality player. I dare anyone tell me otherwise.
There are a lot of Champions League quality players in the Lord.
Can I just say one thing? I know he's being sarcastic. Can I just say one quick thing?
Yes,
doesn't it make more sense that the Premier League has a lot more quality, which is why the 3 clubs that come up from the Championship get relegated directly?
100%.
They don't even have the quality to compete with the likes of Wolves and Fulham and Brentford anymore. So the show.
Is this the first time? This is the first time in ages, no? That the same
2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, Ashraf.
Back to back, Ashraf. Back to back.
2 years in a row.
20 years ago, like a West Brom would come up, a Norwich would come up,
and they'd stay.
7 years.
And they would give,
7 years.
Yeah, and they would give like 5-6 teams in the Premier League games, and it would be tough and stuff. Now they just go relegate.
So okay,
that's true. That's a good point.
Very, very. The problem is,
you see how I respond? I know what to say.
That was a good point, actually. I didn't even think about that. That's a very good point.
What year doing YouTube? I know how to respond.
People don't understand how hard this season has been for Liverpool because Liverpool have won too many games. But people don't understand that Liverpool don't smash teams.
Yeah,
when they win 2-0, it's like in the 80th minute. They win 1-0. They win 2-1. People don't understand that Liverpool, because of Salah and because of Van Dijk, the edge games. But it's not like a walkover like Klopp and Pep before. That is not happening this season. About Saka, people. We had this discussion yesterday about Saka being
world class. Go on. Sorry.
Can you present your argument first?
Yeah, Habibi, for me, people look at, he has to win a trophy. He has to have the criteria of at least winning trophies. I think that's the most ridiculous thing because this is not tennis. I do understand for legacy talk, yes, trophies do matter because you cannot have that kind of legacy if you don't have any major trophies. I understand that. Or you can have a legacy, but it won't be something massive. But when it comes to world-class status, you have to look at the best performers in that position. And Saka is not just one of the best right wingers in the world. Because by the way, I never understood why people do this distinction. Right winger versus left winger, right back versus left back. It's a full back. And when it comes to wingers, Saka is top 5 in the world. And I'd probably argue top 3 as well. I'm assuming I exclude Mbappe because Mbappe is like the alien to this kind of conversation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So if I exclude him, I think Saka is definitely top 3 wingers in the world. It's ridiculous that some people have Rodrigo as world class and they say Saka isn't. When Saka is better than Rodrigo in every single element. He's clutch, maybe just like Rodrigo. He's a good dribbler. He's a great scorer, great creator. Has shown up consistently for the last 3-4 seasons. Has fantastic GA. It's just mental. Anyone who says Saka is not world class right now is just doing agendas for no reason. Especially when someone has been consistent for the last 3, 4, 5 years, or at least 4 years. He's been consistently getting better and better and better GA as well, which is not easy for someone to do of his age. It's mental for me that anyone argues that.
Does anybody think that Harry Kane is world?
Stop it, Mo. Let me say one thing.
Yes, 100%.
Bukayo Saka is better than every winger in world football, not called Mohamed Salah. Salah is number 1, Saka is number 2. I think Saka.
I would say Vinny. I would say Vinny is number 2 still.
Right winger.
Saka
He said right winger.
Has played better than Vinny and better than Rodrigo as well. If we're talking about this season, even with Saka being out for 2 months, he still performed better than Vinny, in my opinion. But if we're talking about this season strictly, just one step down. I put Rafinha second, and then I put third Saka. But other than that, I think Saka's been better than Vinny. He's been better than Rodrigo this season, even with his injuries. I think he's been better than Lamine Yamal. Yes, I think he's been better than Lamine Yamal. 100% he's been better than Lamine Yamal. I think Bukayo Saka, 100%. I think Bukayo Saka is one of the best wingers in world football.
This season, season. Yeah.
I think this guy's completely underrated. I think people disrespect him so much.
You think he's been better than Dembele, for example?
If Bukayo Saka had the season that Philip Walter Foden is having this year, people will do 3-hour shows on Bukayo Saka. Why is he here? Is this Arteta's fault? Is this his fault? What's this happening? Blah, blah, blah. Saka started his career at left back, went to left wing back under Unai Emery, and now he is one of the best right wingers in world football. And you know, want to know something, you guys? We always talk about moments. We always talk about all these different types of things. Saka just dunked on Real Madrid. So now what? Didn't you all say, Saka's never done it in the Champions League? How can you compare him to Philip Foden? Foden scored the goal in the Bernabeu. Okay, Saka just chipped Courtois. Now what? Like, what exactly is the excuse here? And that's my point. So for me, I think Saka's the third best winger in the world this season. If I'm doing pure form, Salah 1, 2, Rafinha, 3, Saka. That's my form wingers in world football right now.
Bro, and you know what pisses me off, honestly? I keep seeing this every time and it's so damn annoying. Saka dribbles. Someone put in the comments earlier, Saka dribbles? ? Because people think dribbling means step over, rainbow, nutmeg. I guarantee if I ask that same person, I don't even know who, because it went up now. I guarantee if I ask that same person, who's a better dribbler, Cole Palmer or Saka, they'd be like, Cole Palmer. Well, obviously Cole Palmer is a better dribbler. How come in the league this season, Cole Palmer averages 1.5 take-ons per game. Saka averages 2.4, which is double. And no, it's not. It's. I agree, it's a bad one if you don't take the other side into account. No, wait. I'm coming to it, Jordz, because a lot of people look at Cole Palmer doing some tricks and they assume he's a better dribbler. Whereas when you look at the fact that Saka averages almost double his take-ons and has a better take-on success rate as well, it tells you Saka is a better dribbler. Saka's dribbling style is just different. He doesn't dribble with skills and nutmegs. Even Rodrigo, by the way, the one thing they use over Saka with Rodrigo's a better dribbler. Even Rodrigo completes less dribbles per game than Saka. If you look at Rodrigo this season in La Liga, which by the way, it's a more open league than the Premier League. He completes 2.3 dribbles per game versus Saka, who completes 2.4. And his take-on success is 51%, which is 1% lower than Saka's. This is just BS.
This is where the problem is, though. This is where the problem is Arsenal fans start doing things what Ashraf has just done. He's just went and compared
speak facts and give numbers.
And what did he do? He said, he's even better than Rodrigo because 0.1 per dribbles per game proves that he dribbles more than him. That's the problem with a lot of the arguments to do with all Arsenal players, is there's always such thin margins, but they make it seem like, but he's definitely better. It's always the Arsenal player that's better than the other ones, and that's my problem.
No, I don't always do that. If you don't stream with me enough.
I didn't say you, I said Arsenal fans, Ashraf. I just referenced.
Who's the Arsenal player that's better than everyone else? Who?
What?
Give examples, like who?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said first. Say that again.
Give example. You just said that Sol is the Arsenal player that's better than everyone else. Like who? Who in their
Yeah,
team
they
do
always.
they prop
What do you
up?
mean? Whether it's Saliba, whether it's Gabriel, whether it's Odegaard, whether I rate Rice, but even whether it's Rice, whether it's all these players, all these conversations that you'd have, it's the Arsenal players just better.
But you want to know what makes your question
Gabriel,
funny, Jordz? All of them belong in the conversation. Everyone you just mentioned,
Exactly. Except Odegaard, everyone else.
Other than Odegaard,
Wait,
in my opinion, because I've changed my mind on him, the rest all
I
belong.
never said I don't rate these players. I just said the players are rated, but what Arsenal do is when there's close comparisons, they always make it seem like it's the Arsenal players. When you look at the Saka and world class conversation,
What's wrong with
if you want to dial it down to, is he top 3 right wingers in the
You
world?
said Brandon Johnson's better than Luis Diaz.
Bro, are you gonna let me finish? Or you just
Bro, you said that. So how are you doing the whole tribal?
Let him finish this time because I promise he's gonna get cooked when he finishes.
I said he's more
effective.
effective.
To do like diaries. I watch your
Actually,
photos.
I am not sure. To be honest,
know you.
Jordz, I want to know what is your point, Jordz? Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't even know what my point is because I've been in touch about 5 times.
He was talking about Arsenal. You were talking about Arsenal fans and why do you make them.
I wasn't. I was about to get onto Saka, but when you guys wanted to keep going back to what.
Get onto Saka, okay? Get onto Saka.
Brennan Johnson's more as effective as Luis Diaz. Facts, stats. You want to do the Salah stats thing? We do the Salah stats.
When Ashraf did the stats, Ashraf,
you didn't like it. You didn't like it. Yeah.
Huh?
Again, when I reference the stats, I don't say that Brennan Johnson's a better player than Luis Diaz. I just said he's as effective. The stats proves it. Is down to
yes. I'm picking stats of a dribble. How do I know who's a better dribbler if the stats don't tell me? My eyes can deceive me. The numbers don't lie. It's like saying it's like saying
3 dribbles compared to 2.4 dribbles means he's a better dribbler. No, statistically, that doesn't mean fuck all, bro. It's 0.1. The difference is too small for you to differentiate.
I gave you 2 variables. I didn't give you one. Stop. I gave you. You did. First of all, you missed my point. The whole point of saying this,
just the number of dribbles per game.
First of all, you missed my point. There's 2 things you missed. There's 2 things you missed.
But then I took it and I was about to make my own point, which I still haven't been able to make.
No. Before you make that point,
my point about Saka.
1 second, George. Wallahi, it'll take me 10 seconds. 10 seconds. It's not just the fact that you missed the take on success percentage. It's also the fact that you missed the point that I was trying to make, which is people say Rodrigo is clear of Saka in dribbling. Even if Saka is 0.1 better than Rodrigo, that kills the argument that Rodrigo is clear. You cannot be clear of someone if you're less than him. That's what I was addressing.
But I was addressing that. Wait, but that was my point that I said to you the same way backwards. I said, okay, Saka might have 0.1 better, but that doesn't make him a better dribbler or clear of him in dribbling because it's 0.1. The stats
but it makes Rodrigo not clear of him. But that means Rodrigo isn't clear of him.
I never said Rodrigo. I don't think Rodrigo is an amazing dribbler.
I was responding to that in the comments. That's what I was responding to.
No, because people I don't think Rodrigo is amazing dribbler. I don't think Rodrigo is the great person to use in this argument because Rodrigo doesn't play consistently in his position that he wants to play and also is not relied upon to perform the same way Saka is. I think Rodrigo is an amazing winger. I think at another team Rodrigo becomes that sole purpose winger where he's going to get a lot of the ball and he's going to be the sole creator. He's not that wrong.
I agree.
So he's the bad person to compare him to. If you compare him to other wingers, I'd say no. When you talk about world class, for one, there's not that many world class wingers in world football because the level of wingers has just gone down. Wing play is no longer as good as it used to be. So wingers are a lot more basic. Saka is part of that pool of players that are basic wingers, but they're effective wingers. So he knows how to play, knows how to get the best out of his game.
When that is not just say basic.
You just call Bukayo Saka basic. Fuck my life.
He meant no. He didn't say that. To be fair to him, he didn't say that.
Maybe I don't understand. I didn't understand.
He said basic type of wingers in the way they play.
What he does,
but that's not true.
Is he has a very he's gonna get to either work his way to the byline, cut it back across, or he's gonna get to that edge of the box and then cut inside. When I mean his way of playing is basic, as in that is the basic part of it. He does the same thing just very effectively. He's not a player that's constantly going to be doing what Vinny does. He's run up and down the line, run back, dribble pass, dribble, and do it. That's a complicated winger. He's not that. He's not a tricky winger. He's a basic winger, but he's not a tricky winger,
but he's still a good dribbling winger. He doesn't dribble
effective and basic, bro. Bro.
But I don't think it's basic. No, because
just on mute and let me finish, bro. Because I actually haven't been able to finish. I'm never going to get to my point, please. So when you talk about world class, there's not that many world class wingers in world football mode. So when I say Saka's not world class, it's not a slight on him. It's a slight on wingers in world football right now. Is there many world class wingers? There's Vinny. There's you say Salah. There's Rafinha right now.
Dembele, Yamal. Probably Kvaratskhelia.
Can I go? Can I go? Because I was going
But we're giving you names, yani, to remember the wingers and all that.
I don't put Saka in the same thing as them, man. I don't. That's my point. I think these players are whether you think they're more proven than him, that's another conversation. Because Saka's proven and more consistent. I think he's more consistent than a lot of these players. But I think these players are better players.
Guys in the comments, thank you so much. Actually, I want to ask him this: was Robin a basic winger?
Robin and Saka are two different players. What?
Why?
Robin?
Why?
Because when Robin done, wait, what are we doing here, bro?
Just explain.
Robin
You said basic winger. Explain it. Yeah.
Because
was Robin a basic
Saka
winger or not?
When you talk about Saka's dribbles and so on, Saka's not a tricky winger, bro. Robin was a tricky
Robin
winger.
wasn't a tricky. No, he wasn't. He had one move. He had one move. Run it on the left.
I've seen Robin get past Madman down the wing. Yes,
stop it, Jordz.
He had a signature move that was cutting in. And guess what? His signature move was actually signature because it banged 15 goals all the time. He's banging goals.
But Saka dribbles that same way. He's not as quick as Robin.
Ashraf, please, Ashraf, let me say something.
Guys. Nostalgia is killing football conversations.
It is.
Nostalgia is completely destroying football conversations. If you don't call Arjen Robben basic, then khalas, you're just exaggerating. Arjen Robben, during his playing career, was known for cutting in and shooting. That in itself is basic. Number two, the revisionism of Arjen Robben's career is some of the funniest shit I've seen in my life. Because when Arjen Robben was playing, you know what? Want to know what Arjen Robben was known as? One second, Jordz. I'm gonna be 30 in a month. You can't fool me. I watched Arjen Robben's career. You know something about Robben? When he was playing, he was known as a bottle job because he ran one-on-one twice through in a World Cup final against Iker Casillas, shot it straight at him. You guys know the Champions League final, Drogba. You wanna know who missed?
He missed a penalty
during regular time.
Oh, what? So,
Robben.
Who does that remind
you? Guys know the whole
during extra time, not regular time.
Yeah.
No,
but that's my point. You're gonna try to say you guys remember the whole? You guys remember the whole? Saka let the country down. Robin let Bayern.
Robin let his country down.
And let the country down.
I never said that they're not similar players.
You guys know that Robin was sold from Chelsea?
Much levels above Saka.
You guys know that Robin was sold from Chelsea because he wasn't levels like that when he was at Chelsea?
And that was in 2007, 2008. He became the top winger that he was in 2010, 11, 12, 13. What are we doing
Where Bayern is essentially, I'm giving you an Arabic saying, it was one rooster and 19 chickens. Robin killed it for the Rooster Club. Wow.
And I'm not even. I'm just talking about the style of wing.
Is better than Robin, or he's got a better height.
No, is better than Arjen Robben.
What?
Yeah, I agree with that. But my point is, he is. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Salah, yes. Salah is better than Robin, 100%. No, I'm saying that, and I'm not a Liverpool fan because I've watched Robin since 2004, and I know exactly how he plays.
Because of nostalgia.
Exactly. The argument I was making for Robin and Salah
that could say is better than Salah and is definitely like not basic. Ribéry. If you brought up Ribéry, we would have heard it. Don't bring up Robin and tell me he's not basic.
I didn't bring up Robin. You brought up Robin.
Robin is basic as fuck,
No.
Guys,
no, don't.
The reason is basic as fuck, Jordz.
You brought up Robin, though. I didn't bring up Robin. You mentioned
the
his
reason.
Name. You mentioned
I brought.
The reason why Ashraf brought up Robin is because Robin is basic. His signature move is cut and shoot.
Exactly.
That's the definition of basic.
By the way, Robin and anyone who's watched, and Mo can back this up, Husam can back this up, he was known to have zero weak foot. Everyone knew in the world he could never go on his right. By the way, by that logic, Saka is less basic than Robin because Saka could go on the right and on the left, right? And the whole point of me giving Robin as an example is because you said Saka is like those type of wingers
and
that
Robin
does the basic
was not
stuff.
a big game player either.
Robin was a basic winger, yeah. Robin was such a basic winger in the way he played.
You've interpreted what I said to say that cutting in off the left and just cutting in and doing that is the basic part about his game. I said what Saka does, and a lot about what Saka does is basic. But he's good. He's just effective at what he does.
Yes, and what Robin did also was basic. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly.
The one thing he had that wasn't basic was the corner. That's it.
You're throwing your toys out the pram. Guys, everyone in the chat, cutting in and shooting, which is something that Jadon Sancho does, is now not basic anymore. It's now such an elite thing. Robin used to get that ball down the right-hand side.
So when you used to see Bale,
oh my God,
you said, wait, was Bale basic? Wait,
literally Cody Gakpo does that.
Was Bale basic by your logic? Was Bale basic?
No.
But Bale's
clear
signature
of
move
that.
was
Are you
coming
mad?
in and shooting. That was his signature move.
Stop
Is he
lying.
basic?
Stop lying.
Is he
Stop
Not the
lying.
same. You're
Okay,
lying,
let me tell
bro.
you let me tell you the difference. First of all, Bale had a weak foot. Second of all, Bale could
Not
score.
on a weak foot, doesn't matter. Not all players need to shoot with their right and shoot with their left. It doesn't make a difference.
Let me answer the question. Bale had a weak foot. Listen to the difference between Bale and Robin. Okay, Bale had a weak foot. Bale could score multiple different ways: header, shot, back heel, every types of goals. Bale
was a
can take
finisher.
free kicks. Bale was more versatile because Villas-Boas season at Spurs that Bale won the awards. He was playing in the number fucking 10. Robin couldn't play in the 10 back in the day.
He always operated off the left and right.
Gareth
Yeah, but
Bale
Robin couldn't do
is
that.
more
Robin
versatile,
couldn't do that.
better technically, better footballer, better athletically, and guess what? Bale is more clutch because Bale did not let Wales down and Bale did not let Madrid down. That's the difference. Robin went through on goal twice against Iker Casillas, shot it straight at him, and he lost two Champions League finals. Mo, Inter Milan against Bayern Munich when you beat them 2-0, Diego Milito. How shit was Robin that day? Tell them right now.
Yeah, it was not good. I actually don't
fucking
rate
awful.
Robin
And
as
then
one of the
He was
best
amazing that
defenders ever.
season. But in the
Allianz.
final, he was.
No. They played the Champions League final at the Allianz. Robin missed a penalty against Petr Cech, who's fucking shit at saving penalties. He could have won Bayern Munich the Champions League then and there. Now
In
what?
extra time, that too.
Now what?
So can we just bring it back to Saka? Yeah, because you guys went on way too much tangent. Yeah. No, I generally ignored it. I ignored everything you said about Bale because I'm not again. It was irrelevant. Like I was just arguing a point.
So Bale
Wait,
did
nobody
not-
asked Jordz. Guys, ask
So you're
Jordz. Jordz,
basically
is Saka
saying-
world class? Is Saka world class, Jordz? For you?
يا عمي بقول لك he has like 6 wingers ahead of him. He has
Are
Yamal,
you serious?
Rafinha, Vini, Rodrigo, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia.
Rodrigo. We just saw Rodrigo.
I didn't say Rodrigo. I didn't say
Maybe
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo's out.
I didn't.
Okay,
I said
fair.
Kvaratskhelia.
Salah,
I said
Salah,
Yamal. I
Kvaratskhelia.
said Dembele, Salah.
Salah, of course.
Dembele,
So can I understand why?
Yamal.
Let's pick one name. Why is Kvaratskhelia better than Saka? Why is he ahead of Saka? In what metric? In what
Kvaratskhelia?
regards as a winger?
Yeah, Kvaratskhelia is just a better winger. He may not be
How so?
a more effective player, as in he scores as many goals. But if you put him on the wing, he will do a way better job than Saka will be. More effective for your team.
What is the better job? I
I
did this.
see that
I
with my
played this
eyes.
game with LB. It's so entertaining.
Ashraf, let me. No, you asked me a question. I'm gonna answer the question again.
Mhm.
You can do the stats and do across this year. I've seen this and this.
No. I wasn't gonna do that. I wasn't gonna do that.
When I saw Lamine Yamal for the first time, he made his debut against Spurs in a friendly. I said, this kid is generation. I could see it from a moment I see him play. I was like, this kid's going to be the best right wing in the world within a year. I watched him for 1 year and I said, this is the best right wing in world football. I saw enough. And even now, I still think this is the best right winger. You can say Salah's better, that's fine. I don't really care. That's what kind of stuff. But no winger in world football.
He's seen it with a very salty.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm sold.
Guys, I'm gonna ask him a question, and you see how it'll go because this we played. LB and I played this game, and even LB in the end had to. So we're gonna play. By the way, he's saying about Lamine Yamal. He saw Lamine Yamal. He knew it was gonna be generational. I guarantee you, a lot of people thought the same thing about Hatem Ben Arfa. But anyways, we move on. The question, Jordz.
They did. Lamine Yamal said he led his country to Euros, though. Something that
correct.
Never do.
Correct.
Please.
Correct. Yeah, fair. Because you know the future, 100%. The question, Jordz, is you said Kvaratskhelia does things that you expect from a winger better than Saka. What are those things? Like, what do you want from your winger to do that you think Kvaratskhelia does better?
That's not
okay, repeat it. Okay, repeat it. Sorry, repeat it.
When I watch Kvaratskhelia, I know Kvaratskhelia is going to offer me more than what Saka does.
Yes.
As a
what is
now,
that more?
If you want goals, you may want to go for Saka because Saka's a more.
No. I don't want goals. I don't want that. George, I don't want goals. George, I don't want goals. I'm asking you. You said Kvaratskhelia does.
Ball carrier. He's better at beating his man. He's better at getting down the line.
Wait. 1 sec.
Wing play.
1 sec.
A winger.
1 sec. Okay, fair. Okay, fine. Let's pick one of them. You said he's better at taking on his man. What's the point of beating your man in a game? Why do you care if your winger beats a man or not? Just humor me.
Bro,
why do you care if your winger beats your man?
Wait. All right. Ashraf, you don't know what a winger is, clearly. because wing
No, I
play
do.
is beating
But you
your man
clearly
down the
don't.
wing, bro. Doing your 1v1
Why?
battle.
Yeah.
Left wing beat the right back.
Why?
Right wing
Jordz.
beat the left back. That is wing play. How hard is that to understand?
Jordz, you I
Stop
think you
telling
know
me.
where I'm going, but because you know where I'm going, you're acting dumb because you don't want to answer because you know you're going to get trapped. When you say you want Kvaratskhelia to beat your man, 1 second, Husam and Mo, if he answered my question, let me know. Yeah, if you're asking Kvaratskhelia to beat his man, why do you want him to beat his man? To do what?
Of course, he's going to be putting the ball in the box. He's going to assist. He's going to create chances.
Create to score. Create to score.
Stop. You're done. You fell to the trap because you said beat his man to cross to assist. So then if I judge Saka and Kvaratskhelia based on assists and chances creation, isn't that a fair metric? Yes. So if Saka creates more chances
you don't actually listen
and has
to what
more
I'm saying.
assists,
No,
isn't that a fair metric?
Listen. You don't listen. You don't
Mo and
listen.
Husam, am I bugging? Am I deluded?
Can we just have a...
You asked who is the better winger, but having more chances created or having more, that doesn't mean you're a better winger, bro. That doesn't mean
it does.
Again,
By your metric, it does because you said, and I quote verbatim, I want my winger or Kvaratskhelia takes on his man more. Why? To put in crosses. Why? To get assists. To create chances. So there's literally two metrics for that.
Hold on, Jordz. Stop. Jordz. Yannick Bolasie was better than both on the side of dribbling. Both.
Exactly. Yeah.
You cannot tell me that
Yannick Bolasie was not that good at dribbling. He's so overrated, bro. The guy's not.
Oh my
Yannick Bolasie not good at dribbling. Are you mad?
Yannick Bolasie played for Crystal Palace and in fucking League One for a reason. What are we doing here, bro? He played 3 years at Crystal Palace and never played at top level.
Okay. I'm gonna give you another example.
He's a top level dribbler.
I'm gonna give you George. Stop yelling, everyone. Stop yelling. Atim Ben Arafa was better than all of them in dribbling and taking on his man. Do you agree?
100%.
100%.
George, do you agree? George, you cannot just say go for it. Atim Ben Arafa was an elite dribbler.
The guy was fat, man. He was fucking eating and doing shisha every week. I'm not gonna sit here and rate this guy. Don't come here and give me these meaty guys. Kvaratskhelia is a baller that's committed to performing week in, week out. He led his team along with Osman to a Scudetto already. So you want to talk about trophies? We can talk about fucking trophies. We can go there.
We are not
right now.
saying
He's going to be a key signing. Already made the league. And if he leads them to a Champions League, what's it going to be? Because
I hear. Wallahi,
guys, here are the numbers.
Ashraf.
Just one second. Here are the numbers. Liga.
That's mean.
We're not going to talk over each other, guys. We're not. George,
sorry.
Hold on, Ashraf. I'm sorry. George, we're not saying Kvaratskhelia is bad, but if I'm going to judge my winger, I judge them basically on two things. It's either my winger creates chances for others or he scores goals, right?
Exactly.
Or there is another metric for a winger that we don't know about. Maybe track back, as Arsenal used to brag about Martinelli track back. But that is, we used to cook Arsenal for these things, right? We used to cook Arsenal for these things. I don't care about a winger taking on his man or doing anything. All I want from my winger is to score a goal or assist or create. Am I wrong to say that? That's why Son is elite.
Yep.
Finishing, phenomenal. Taking on people and creating chances for others. Son was ridiculous. Hold on, I'm coming for you.
People have always told me Son is not elite. That's the thing. What are you?
Not now. He was back then.
Us here.
Did someone of you said it?
Are you ridiculous? Son is amazing.
People do not rate Son. People do not rate Son as a winger.
I don't care about people.
For 5 years that Son is not elite. What are you telling me?
Son is amazing. What are you talking about?
Son, guys,
do you know why?
Can I ask
Husam's been there throughout the arguments when people are telling me Son's washed.
Well,
Martinelli,
you're coming with the spaces.
4 years ago that Martinelli was better than Son.
Washed is different.
People are weird, bro. People are weird.
No. These are narratives that are created by fans because Son was not a flashy winger.
Okay, let me tell you something. Let me.
I'm sorry. I just want to read this quickly.
I haven't even been involved in this debate. Let me just say one thing. Look, I can differentiate between preference and who's better. Because Mo knows this because he's worked with me long enough. I absolutely love Kvaratskhelia. If you tell me would I rather sign Saka or Kvara for Liverpool, I would say Kvara just because I love him. Like I just love watching him play football. I think he's so creative. I think he's technically elite. Like I love him. But if you tell me right now, like who's better currently, it's close. It's close. But I'm gonna be biased. I'm biased just because I love Kvara. That's it. Like watching him is just a pleasure, you know. So
guys, which league is easier? Husam,
factual thing, it's just preference.
Husam and Mo. I'm not going to ask Jordz because Jordz is going to give me a biased answer. Which league is harder to play in? The League or the Premier League?
Premier League.
So how come Kvaratskhelia in League A? 1 second, Jordz, 1 second. How come Kvaratskhelia in League A, which we agree is the easier league, which we agree is the league that gives you more spaces, not only creates less chances per game than Saka, also has less dribbles per game than Saka, and also has less take-on success percentage than Saka. But people tell me he's a better dribbler, and he's because they see him do a
watch with our fucking eyes and not with the stats. The stats
your eyes deceive you. Your eyes deceive you clearly. You need glasses. You need glasses.
The stats look better. He's a better dribbler than Kvaratskhelia.
Yes, because I can come here and say, the best shooter of the ball of all time is Cristiano Ronaldo or is Roberto Carlos. Even though Messi scores more goals from outside the box and converts a higher percentage of his shots outside the box, that means factually Messi's a better shooter. I don't care about your preference. Your preference might be Cristiano. I like Cristiano more because I like rocket shots, but Messi's the better shooter. It's the same thing with dribbling. You cannot come and tell me one player is a better dribbler if he's worse in every single dribbling stat. That makes no sense.
Sorry, if you want to keep going with stats,
that makes no sense.
Keep going with the stats because the stats do not.
This is not freestyle football, Jordz. It's not freestyle football.
Again, the stats. It's so
Jeremy Lynch better than Saka?
Bring up these stats, but so many stats are skewed, and that is the problem with stats. Is you look at a stat and tell you that this is the fact of a player when I can see when you watch Saka, he's not a good dribbler. He's not that good of a dribbler. But you're gonna say because these stats show that he beats this certain man and he has this many take-ons, he's a good dribbler. But he's not.
I hear you.
When he comes up against good defenders, Saka struggles. When he comes up
against
not
true.
All right, that is true.
That's not true because literally every good winger.
When he come up against what's his name, Evan Nilsson from Porto, he completed 1 dribble in 2 games, bruv. What are we doing?
Yes, guys. When he came up against Evan Nilsson, let's not talk about Cucurella. Let's not talk about Nuno Mendes, by the way, which he played against this season. Let's not talk about all the decent fullbacks. Let's pick the one fullback that Saka struggled against. By the way, this is why I asked you your criteria. What do you expect from a winger? And after pressing you, you then said, I want them to dribble, to cross and create. So if you want them to create and cross, what does it matter how they do it? What does it matter how they do it? If one guy does what you want from your winger a lot better.
Stats went like Saka, like stats can't be, oh, this guy does a 2-yard pass, he gets an assist. Oh, he does 5 2-yard passes, he gets.
Is that how Saka gets his assist?
That's an assist.
Is that how Saka gets his assist?
I didn't say that.
You watch games with your eyes, right?
No.
I just said
stats can be skewed that way. So whether that's a chance created, whether that's an assist, stats get skewed. You can watch a game with your eyes.
The take-ons get skewed as well.
Bro, you can watch a game with your eyes. That one winger, the stats look better for this winger, but you know from what you saw, this player on the other side was better. Odegaard's stats in games
I don't.
Good. Odegaard's stats look good against all these other
No,
games.
they don't.
I know that from watching the game, Odegaard's been shit because he's completed 90% of his passes. Doesn't mean he's had a good game.
Tell me the stats. Tell me the stats that make Odegaard look good, because actually in chances creation and assists, in shots, in conversion, the stats that matter for an attacking midfielder, he hasn't been good. So the stats actually say he's not been having a good season. In fact, the #1 stat for a creator or a playmaker is goals and assists and chances created, which he hasn't been great at.
I said in the last couple of games. So that's.
I'm talking about this season. Oh, overall, the last couple of games is even worse, by the way, because he hasn't scored or assisted. But I'm saying, when you look at it, again, I only went by your metric. That's why I asked you. When you want, and LB did the same shit. When LB said Rodrigo's better than Saka, I was like, for me, I would pick Rodrigo over Saka because Rodrigo can win me more games. I was like, LB, how can he win you more games? Because he does what he does on the pitch. Yeah. What does he do? Oh, he can pass the ball to Haaland. Okay, what is that called? It's called an assist. Yeah, Saka has more of those than Rodrigo. So Saka creates better than Rodrigo.
Look,
so
I just want to be a mediator to this debate. Look, I think both of you are making valid arguments. I think Jordz is approaching this
Jordz isn't.
No, Jordz is approaching this wrong. I think
right.
Jordz... No, you're wrong.
I know I'm right, but you can think you're right.
No, factually you're wrong.
Football, people that watch football with their eyes, they know the answer.
We all do, but some people also know the numbers.
Some people watch it.
Here's the truth.
Clearly.
The whole point of a dribble and getting past your fullback is to either create a chance after it or to score after it. Essentially, you're not on the pitch to just dribble for no reason. And by the way, people might listen to this and think, oh, this guy hates dribblers. We don't. dribbling is very important on the football pitch because it helps you play out of the press sometimes. It helps you get away from dangerous positions. It helps you do so many things. So dribbling is a very important attribute for a footballer to have. However, at the end of the dribble, I'm expecting something for you to do. Prime example, Luis Diaz, probably the best dribbler in the Liverpool squad, but a lot of the times when he gets in the final third, he's ineffective. Now, with Kvaratskhelia, I've agreed with you. If you tell me sign one for your club, I would say Kvaratskhelia over Saka, but it's purely preference. Just because I love watching Kvaratskhelia play football, and that is it. But I cannot claim that he's better just for the sake of it. Like, I just can't. And the truth of the matter is, right now, as things stand, we have seen Saka do it in the big moments. Me and you speak about moments. Mo speaks about moments. Ashraf speaks about moments. The guy just chipped Courtois at the Bernabeu. If that's not a moment, I don't know what a moment is. So he's taking his goal scoring as well and done it in a massive moment for Arsenal Football Club. So that's something that matters. And 5, 6, 7 years from now, people will remember Saka scoring at the Bernabeu. It's going to be a memory forever. So that's just the truth of the matter. So,
and that's good for him. It's the first big game he's turned up in, or the first two, I should say.
Oh, wow.
Great.
The first one, yeah. Great. The first one. He's never turned. He's
I
never turned up.
Ashraf's head so hot.
He's never turned up against Liverpool. He's never turned up against United. He's never turned up against Spurs. Actually, it's not a big game. You're right.
He said big moments. He hasn't actually done big moments because
Liverpool in the Premier League when we were chasing them for the league is a big moment.
We're talking about big moments.
League counts.
Different. In a cup, it's different.
He showed up against Bayern.
Euros when he missed the penalty.
He showed up against. Okay, fair. Let's do cups. Fair enough. He showed up against Bayern last season in the first leg when we should have won that game. He showed up against Switzerland in the Euros this season when they were losing 1-0 and about to get knocked out, and he scores from outside the box and gets them an equalizer, and they go on to win the game. This is the game, by the way, before which people are saying, and I guarantee you Jordz was one of them, play him as left back, play him as left wing back. He played as right wing and was one of the best players.
So many times.
My point is, you said cups. You said cups. I just gave you cup games. Now, if I mention group stage in the Champions League, he's going to say, yeah, but it's group stage. What does it matter? If I say Bayern in the knockout, he's going to say, well, Bayern are shit. If I say Madrid home and away this season, he's going to say Madrid are shit. If I say Euros for England, he's going to say,
now
I don't watch England.
Ashraf's head's hot because now he's just saying things for the sake of saying things. Because I've actually said
if I'm rebutting your point, it's not about my head's hot. I'm destroying your stats.
I'm not. He's rattled. This is what happens with
Jordz, I'm not rattled. Jordz.
That isn't complimentary.
Jordz.
They get rattled and they start going on about.
No. It's not that. It's not that, Jordz.
And he gets his calculator.
I love debating.
Oh, 2.4.
I love Jordz. You know why I love debating with people like you? Because people like you debate on emotion and not logic. It's so easy to win arguments against you guys. Because if I just let you speak long enough, you're going to corner yourself and contradict yourself in 2 minutes, which you've done a million times in this video. I haven't contradicted myself once. I never said Saka is the best in the world. I never said Saka is legendary. But I'm using the exact same metrics. You said you like your winger.
No. I haven't used any of your metric. You've used your own metric.
You did. You did.
No, I never once mentioned. I've never once got up any stats.
Should I coach you again?
I never once got up any stats in front of me for any of my arguments.
Not stats. You said you like Kvaratskhelia.
No. Ashraf, that is the point. I've been doing it based off.
Now you know he lost.
I never done it on stats. You went and got goals, dribbles per game, take-ons per game. For Kvaratskhelia, knowing that Kvaratskhelia is a far better dribbler than Saka is, but you're going to show
I don't know that.
Otherwise.
I don't know that. I actually don't know that.
Then there's something wrong with your
I don't know that. His name is Hatem Ben Arfa a better dribbler than Messi? Because Hatem Ben Arfa does tricks Messi doesn't do on the pitch.
It's funny.
I don't know that actually.
Wait, Ashraf,
what I do know is Saka is a better dribbler.
Football differently. We do. And I can say that my eyes are qualified, so it's fine.
Your eyes are not qualified because you think
I have a badge. Okay. You can't tell me otherwise. I have a badge. It's definitely qualified.
It's definitely not qualified. I promise you, bro. If you don't think Saka's a good dribbler, you don't
know that a better dribbler than Saka. So clearly,
this season he hasn't been. This season he hasn't been. If you're saying this season he has been, this season he hasn't been. He hasn't been a better dribbler this season. That's all that matters.
Go on, man.
You have a coaching badge and you don't rate Salah? That's crazy.
Nah, definitely not, man.
You're crazy.
You all are absolutely crazy, to be honest. The problem is we're arguing over two players that are very close to each other. The problem is Jordz is saying they're miles away from each other, which is what I don't understand.
I said dribbling only. I didn't say by their level of players. So that's what, again, this is what. No, I actually get annoyed when people quote me wrong.
Okay, Khalas, go ahead. Go ahead. No,
I
go ahead.
said their dribbling is levels apart. When I named the 5 players, what did I say? I said Saka isn't levels away from these players. I think these players are better than Saka. They're better wingers. If you want goals, you might want to choose Saka. That's fine. His football IQ is one of the best in the world. He's up there with Salah for a reason. He knows how to play the game. But the level of his play is not as better as these wingers.
He's not up there with Salah. Salah's better in everything.
I said football IQ, Husam. Listen, bro.
Yeah, he's not. Even football IQ, he's not. Salah is different.
Then that's fine. I think they're similar level. I think Saka's really
All due respect, don't come for my guy. Like, that's just different level this season. By every metric. So let's not go there.
I hear you. Probably, to be honest with you guys, watching the both players on the eye, Kvaratskhelia is better.
Yes.
Right? Okay. I agree with
And
it.
that's
with
why from the
Jordz
start
and
I prefer Kvara. I'll never deny this.
watching both players, Kvaratskhelia
Like, I love watching him play football. I never deny
look
this.
better on the ball. I think he's a better dribbler. I think he's a better ball controller as well than Saka. But I watch football probably different. I like my players to be more effective than being aesthetically pleasing. That's what I like as someone who plays football that way. So maybe Saka and Kvaratskhelia are close to each other at the current moment. Kvaratskhelia has done it in Italy, won Napoli the league with Osimhen, and he chose to go to PSG. I believe that anyone that goes to PSG is burying their career unless PSG win the Champions League. And by the way,
I mean, if PSG win the Champions League this season, then he hasn't buried his career. That's the thing.
100%. But that's what I said. But also, by the way, there's only 2 weeks in it, and we're gonna see same as Rodrigo Saka, Kvaratskhelia versus Saka.
Khalas, we're gonna see it.
Literally, it's gonna be 2 weeks. Okay.
For me,
Same
because
wing
I, Salah, I prefer Kvaratskhelia in my team because I think him and Salah complement each other a lot better. Like,
Yeah,
because-
preference is different.
yeah, Kvaratskhelia he's the same profile as Diaz, but he's so much better than Diaz.
He's
like,
very
Diaz,
effective in front of the goal, actually.
yeah, it's like 5 tiers below him, Luis Diaz.
I've
for
watched
me,
the guy
I'm thinking-
tear people apart, bro.
Yeah, like
he's
I know
perfect.
Kvara with Salah in the same team would be unreal. So that's why I was so upset in January when he went to PSG.
Yeah, and I think they are close, and we all can agree on this, to be honest. PSG and Arsenal combined 11 with injuries, that needs a whole show.
I don't
think
think
whole
it's a
show.
whole show. I think it's straightforward.
Go ahead, tell us. We're all gonna listen to you. What? When Jordz
Okay,
laughs,
Raya.
I know that Jordz know that Husam is gonna say something shameless, and Jordz is gonna.
No, I'm not going to
I'm
say
not saying
something.
anything.
No, but why do you guys always do this? Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Nuno Mendes. No shamelessness.
No, there's no Gabriel. There's no Gabriel. He said with injuries. So Gabriel is out.
Oh, with
You have to take
injuries. then
Marquinhos.
I
Marquinhos.
put Pacho from PSG. Pacho's
Pacho's
there.
out injured as well. He's out injured as well.
No, he's fit. He just played against Villa.
No, he got injured that game, I think, or the game after.
No, he played
That's why
against
last
Villa.
game. No. Check the league. Last game they played, he was
Yeah, but they
injured.
always rest
It
players
says-
after the EPL. Anyway,
No, Husam, it says 3 to 4 weeks.
Guys, we need to do the rest of the super chats before we go out. We're not gonna argue
let me
this.
say it with
Just pick
Pacho.
Marquinhos. Like,
So I would
keep
say
arguing against
I'll
each other
say-
about
I'll
fucking
say
Pacho
Vitinha.
injured or not injured.
I'll say Vitinha, Joao Neves,
He might be back now.
Thomas Partey. That's my 3.
You're not
doing
picking Declan
overall.
Rice.
I'm doing overall this whole season. Saka, Dembele,
Kvara. With our left wing Kvara. Yeah, خلاص, we're not gonna argue here.
Saka, Dembele, Kvara.
Okay, easy. See, Thomas, it's very easy. Do you
If I'm
disagree on
doing based
anything?
on Champions League performances, take out Raya, put Donnarumma, take out the Joao Neves, put Rice. But if I'm doing overall, I have to look overall picture.
Spurs
I
fans
agree.
are always overrating their players, especially Jordz.
Didn't mention a Tottenham player the whole argument, so shut the
The
fuck up.
whole show.
I hate when people do this. It's a waffling, man.
Yamal is better than Saka. You lost your mind. That's what he's saying. I don't know who's.
There you are.
No, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy to say Yamal is
I don't think
better
it's
either.
actually crazy to say that Yamal is
Yeah.
better than Saka. I don't think that's a crazy
Yeah.
take at
And
all.
it's not
by the way.
crazy to say Saka's better than Yamal either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
not.
also true.
Fonzie saying Dora Glaris. Okay, we did that one.
This sent us when he sent it, bro.
Anyway, Kvara is my guy. A lot of people love Kvara. to
I
be
love
honest, in the
Kvara,
chat.
man.
I like
Palmer-
Kvara as well.
Palmer and Yamal clear of Saka. Husam is zero ball knowledge.
This is a Chelsea fan who has something up his ass. because he just wants to mention Palmer in this debate. Cole Palmer has less open play goals in 2025 than Mikel Merino. Cole Palmer does not belong in any of these debates. Saka's better than Palmer. Yamal is better than Palmer. Rafinha is better than Palmer. Kvaratskhelia is better. Every single player we have mentioned is better than Palmer. Put the Palmer in the bag. It's over. It's done for you. You cannot bring Palmer.
Doesn't he have 0 and 15, or am I wrong? 0 goals, maybe.
0 goals in 12 games.
He has less open play goals in 2025 than
No. 0 goals in 12 games. This is like, forget about it. Like,
that's crazy.
Kvaratskhelia was missing in the second half against Villa.
Second game, not second half. Yeah,
he was good in the first. No, he was good in the first half. Haram. He was very good in the first.
Fonzie saying ball knowledge of a pumpkin. No. I think he's referring to. That's an Arsenal fan, so definitely referring to Jordz.
No need for that. That's ridiculous.
Watching in a playback, I can't lie. Ashraf is cooking. You're an Arsenal fan. So
I'm so glad, Diallo, you've currently admitted.
An Arsenal fan. You're gonna say Jordz is cooking. Yeah.
No, I hear it. I think Diallo's here every week. He's always.
Thank you, Diallo, for the social. Mr. Durak, that is getting gang press.
He was getting gang press.
To be honest with you, I don't think Jordz was pressed at all.
He did. He pressed me. He tried anyway. You know.
Spurs fan forgot so easily. What about Harry Kane? Quickly, Jordz, is Harry Kane world class?
Yeah. He's proven himself because he performed at a level consistently for 10 years. That's the only reason why.
All right. Great argument, by the way. This twerking from Jordz' cringe badge. I don't understand what
you cannot mock Jordz for having a badge when you're the same guy.
Wait, did you say when you said badge, you meant coaching badge? Oh, by the way, how's that cringe, guys? Like, what the hell?
I think it's actually fantastic.
Bro, how's that cringe? That's an achievement.
Guy that called the Liverpool title a Leicester title.
So Thomas, we're bringing you on the show. Someone who has badges in coaching.
Thomas, you see there's 700 people in this chat, and us 4, you're bottom. You're literally like 700 out of 700. You're bottom tier. You're in the sewer.
You can have. Don't get me wrong. You can have a bad opinion even if you have a badge, but to actually say that's not an achievement, bruh. Having a football and coaching badge is a massive achievement. So let's not do that.
Klopp is one of the best managers ever. He signed Nunes. He has a badge.
But does it mean he's a bad coach, for example? Because he's
He's a world-class coach.
No, Thomas, we're bringing you a show that has someone with a badge, and that you'll like it. Big L, to be honest. Big L. You know who's pretty effective? Fucking Lautaro Martinez. Fuck off then.
Yeah, exactly.
No, respond! Respond, ya hayawan! Don't ignore, respond!
Yeah,
go on. He always comes with this shit, bro. He bottled it last game, but he
there you are. There you are. Who's
Habibi, don't be reactionary. Don't be reactionary. Who won you the league 2 seasons ago? Don't be reactionary anymore. Come on.
This Jordz is full of Twitter narratives. Man watches football on TikTok. Wouldn't expect otherwise from a Spurs fan.
I'd love to know how you can watch football on TikTok, to be honest, because I don't, but I'd love to. If there's some streams on there, plug me, man.
Yeah, please. Thank you so much, Spencer. Fonzie's like, don't ever call me an Arsenal fan again. Oh, you're a Liverpool fan.
Oh, he's not an Arsenal fan. No.
You're not. Who do you support, Fonzie, then? Liverpool fan. Husam, he's a Liverpool fan.
He was so insulted. He was so insulted.
Husam, don't do this. Husam,
come on, Bobo. We have to show the
Husam, don't do this. Oh my God, bro.
Oh, I need to see this. I need to see this. Play it.
Bro, it was cutting out for some reason.
Yeah, because you went over the decibel. That's why.
El Capitano, Lautaro. El Capitano. You are always forgiven. You're always forgiven.
Oh my God.
You're always forgiven. Lautaro, you're always forgiven. It's done. You're always forgiven. He's always forgiven. It's done. It's over. He's always forgiven. خلاص. I forget Lautaro. Ballon d'Or Lautaro. خلاص. He's always forgiven. He's always forgiven. You're done your thing?
Maybe you said always forgiven. You cannot criticize him for last game then, huh?
Always.
Always.
I'll change him. I can flip-flop on my players. It's my players. You can just do it.
Are you on 31K?
I don't know. I actually don't know yet. I am still like freaking 7 subscribers away because Kane is not pleasing Kane is not pleasing to the eye. Kane was amazing on the eye.
Is not pleasing to the eye. What the?
This guy is just waffling. He's trying to rattle me.
He means like I think.
Oh,
to be fair to him, Yes, in terms of dribbling and like that kind of stuff, not in terms of the passing and the chances created.
But that just depends what you. Again, I think people are over like because I like aesthetics. They think, oh, you just like dribblers. No, you can appreciate a player that is really good at passing. Appreciate a player that's got a good first touch or is just a deadly finisher. You appreciate them differently. For a winger, I want a dribbler though. That's just me.
That's a preference then, guys. I'm just gonna say Kane is one of the best strikers we've watched over the last 10-15 years.
Yeah.
Like there's no argument here.
For a shitty institution with no trophies.
Yeah, probably top. I would say top 5 in the last 10 years.
100%. Benzema, Lewandowski, Harry Kane.
By the way, did you set it up?
This redirect? Yes, wallahi.
Because we have to support Aston Villa. I want Isak at Liverpool. Let's go.
Husam,
come on, Villa.
Asim, drop that story now. It's dead and buried. I came out clean and I paid my sins. Gunnar for life.
For your sins, I will not forgive you, and I'll bring it up every stream until you come to my channel personally and apologize to me because I called you out from the beginning on this horse shit narrative that you were running. Oh my god, I'm a Barcelona fan that's neutral, but I just like Arsenal. So you have to come to my chat and apologize. I'm not dropping this. I'm not dropping. I'll be on your neck. Straight facts tomorrow. I'll be on your neck as well until I get my apology.
Big up everybody that joined us. Durak Diaries. I actually put a comment in, Durak Diaries in the description. Please, guys, please watch the Arsenal are scary, and then tell us what you think the next show. Please, guys, Arsenal are scary. Please watch and let us know what you guys think. I'm going to go watch it.
Don't forget, pray for PSG.
Pray for PSG.
Ashraf Talks Ball, and this stream will take you to Husam's watch along with Aston Villa versus Man City, guys. So go and support Husam as well, guys, on his watch along, of course. We might do MHF later after the match reaction for Manchester City versus Aston Villa. We'll see you guys tomorrow or the day after or whenever. Turn on the notification bell. We're out of here, people.
Bye, blood.